What's up, my fellow boss babes? I'm Savvy, and welcome back to Savvy Writes Books, the channel where we talk about books and business, where today we are revisiting the company BOSSBABE that we talked about just, I want to say, last week or 2 weeks ago on this channel. Now, before we get into it, first of all, forgive my sunburn from the Pride Parade. You want to see some gay sunburn? Look at that. Look at that. That's not right, man. That's not right. Although it was the most fun Pride Parade I've ever had, so it was worth it. But yeah, I'm like burnt to a crisp today, so sorry about that. Hope it doesn't hurt you too bad to look at me. Also, I've still got this temporary tattoo right here because I haven't girl washed my face since the parade. But today we are going to be talking about the company BOSSBABE. If you guys remember, just a few weeks ago we talked about BOSSBABE, which is a company that sells you courses on how to be a boss babe, basically. It sells you courses all about how to grow your Instagram, how to launch products. It's a business of teaching you how to do business. It's the course selling pyramid that we always talk about. During that video, I mentioned that I was going to take one of their free webinars. I signed up for it during that video, and I said I would take it, and then I would respond to it and review it for you guys. And that is exactly what we're going to do today. We are going to pull up the free webinar, and just as I did with Gabby Bernstein's book writing course and Dave Hollis's video on advice to write a book and all of that, I'm going to be using my rescue dog journal here to take notes in and see if there's anything from this webinar that I can learn about how to expand my own company. So let's do this.
Hit you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago. You guys asked for it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome for the first time. This is Savvy Writes Books, where we talk about books and business and have new videos coming out every Friday at 11 a.m. Central, but often other times throughout the week as well. Today's video is the last video that's coming out actually during Pride Month, as this Friday's video is going to be on July 1st, so it won't be Pride Month anymore. As such, my last Pride Month video of the year is going to be sponsored by yet another LGBTQ-owned small business. Today's video is sponsored by Linchpin Badges, an LGBTQ-owned Etsy shop creating handmade pride pins and keychains. And they sent me a few pins to show you guys. So first, I got this one right here, which I cannot wait to put on my denim jacket. This is going to be so fun. This pin has the bisexual pride flag colors, which I love. It's a pronoun pin, so it has she, her, and then it has ona je, which is she, her in Polish. So I love that. The shop made this English and Polish bi pride custom pin for me because they do take custom orders, which I think is absolutely fantastic. They also sent me this support small businesses not MLMs keychain, which is coming everywhere with me starting this afternoon when I attach it to my keyring. And I got this cute pin with a unicorn on it. You guys know how much I love unicorns, so that was so cool. And this one with a cute little frog, both of which are hand painted, colorful, super pretty. All these pins are going on my denim jacket later today. I cannot wait to show these off. If you'd like to support a queer-owned small business during Pride Month, head to the Etsy shop link in my description below and use the code SAVVY10 to get 10% off at checkout. Keep in mind that these pins and keychains are handmade, which means that you can get custom pronoun pins in any language that you like. So this could be perfect if you're having trouble finding the pin that's best for you or that's in your specific language. So thank you so much again to Linchpin Badges for sponsoring today's video. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to use code SAVVY10 for 10% off at checkout. Happy Pride Month. I cannot wait to, I love these pins so much. I'm so excited. So thank you so much. Now, let's talk about BOSSBABE. So here we are with the BOSSBABE webinar. This is called Your Step-by-Step Guide to Making Your First $10,000. We're going to go through this webinar live, react to it. I've got my journal here, so let's open to a new page and call this the BOSSBABE webinar training. Take some notes. If I learn something good, I'll be happy. If I don't, then I won't. Let's find out. So there it is, BOSSBABE webinar. I'm gonna take some notes on this. Your step-by-step guide to making your first $10,000. It also said $10,000 in 30 days. So I'm not sure specifically, again, the messaging's already a little bit all over the place. Are we talking about making $10,000 in 30 days or are we talking about making my business's first $10,000? And are we talking about $10,000 that I pay myself as a salary or are we talking about $10,000 in total business revenue? It's not clear, but I'm hoping that she will clear it up. So this webinar is being run by Danielle Canty, who is the president of BOSSBABE and one of the two co-founders of the company. Let's go. It's like, welcome. The broadcast will start shortly.
Hey everyone, welcome to our training. I am so excited to be here.
Okay, so that's Danielle in the corner there, and now that we're here, The seminar seems to be called How to Make an Extra $10,000 in the Next 30 Days. So is it I'm still confused what I'm supposed to gather from this. I'm sure she's going to go into the learning objectives in a minute, but the title of the webinar is confusing. It seems like she wants it to be multiple different things at once so that way we can't be disappointed when we don't get all the things out of it that we were promised. That's kind of what it feels like. I don't know. But it's called How to Make an Extra 10K in the Next 30 Days. But before that, it was called Your First 10K. So which is it? Is this supposed to be in 30 days? I don't know. Because if so, I'm going to put that into practice. What's today? Today that I'm filming this is June 27th. 30 days will be, what, July 27th? Something like that? I assume so. Let's see if by July 27th I've brought in an additional $10,000.
How to make an extra 10K in your business in the next 30 days. So
she started off saying 90 days. She said the next 30 days. She's going to say 90 days.
I want to make sure you leave here with so much value, guys.
I'd love to.
I want you to walk away from this training knowing and understanding the action steps that you can take to make an extra $10,000 a month, even if you don't have a large audience or are yet to start your business, okay?
Okay.
And before we go further, though, I have a few big questions for you, and I want you to drop in the chat. You're going to learn this about me. This is going to be a very, very interactive session, okay? So I want you to drop a Y in the chat if this is you, or an N in the chat if this is a no, okay? So Y if yes, N for no, okay? So do you have a dream of making a change in your life right now?
Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with my life. I would like to make extra money in my business. That's pretty much the only change that I really want to make. Basically, everything I'm doing, I just want to continue to get better at doing. That's the point I'm at in my life. I don't want to make any major overhauls. Like, for example, I like where I live, so I want to work on improving my home here and there as we go. I like working out, so I want to work on being able to lift heavier and just keep progressing. I already own a business, so I want to work on it getting better. I already have a YouTube channel that I like, so I want to just grow it bigger. I don't know if that counts as like making a change if I just want to progress at what I'm currently already doing in all those areas. But that's how I feel. All right.
Now, drop me a Y or an N, because I want to know who I've got in this room.
How would I know if that's a Y or an N? I guess it's both. Like, I don't want to make any major change. I don't want to like change careers or like start something entirely new. I just want to continue to grow the things that I'm doing at a reasonable pace. So is that a yes? No?
Okay, I'm starting to see the Y's come in. What about, do you wish you could have more control of your earning power? Okay.
So I think we all wish that we had more control over our earning power. I think the question of do you want to make more money is a stupid question because the answer is yes for everyone. I don't think there's a single person in the world who'd be like, no, I'd actually like to make less money. Like, even people who are super wealthy would probably be like, no, like, even if they don't want it for themselves, they'd want it for, like, their families or to give to charities or to fund, you know, important initiatives. Like, I think pretty much everybody wants to make more money. I don't think there's a single person that's like, I want to make less money. Do I wish I had more control over my earning power? Like, I think that's a yes for everyone, but I don't believe that you have the answer. So I don't know where you're going with this.
A ton of yeses on this one. Really wanted to take control, that it's your destiny. I get it. I felt like that too. Do you have a desire to do something you are passionate about every day and make money from it?
What's the point of these questions? Like, who is going to answer no to these? No, I actually would love to do something that I hate every day and not get paid for it. I just want my life to be miserable, actually. Like, who's going to say that? Do I have a desire? Honestly, I would probably answer no to this because I already do things that I'm passionate about every day and make money from it. I want to learn how to do it better. I want to learn some business advice. These questions don't matter.
And I have one last question, okay?
Okay.
Do you have or desire to have your own business that brings in consistent 10K revenue every single month?
Yes, I do. I have a business that doesn't bring in 10K revenue every month, but I do desire to bring in 10K in revenue every month. I would answer a solid yes to that question.
That is a desire. Drop a Y in the chat. Okay, again, I'm seeing a ton of yeses. So basically, if you answered yes to any of those questions, then you are absolutely in the right place today. Okay.
Wow, that's very comforting. Here, I thought that I was supposed to answer no to all of them. You're wasting my time!
Okay, because I promise you this now. This is a no fluff, no BS.
What do you mean no fluff, no BS? We are over 6 minutes into this training. We're six and a half minutes in, and you've told me nothing.
Training program. I am done with the bro marketing techniques, you guys, and the mansplaining, like, seriously. And I'm pretty sure that you guys are too, right? Like, I'm not stupid. Just give me the real juicy stuff. So in this training, I'm going to give you practical strategies. I'm going to give you actionable advice, and I'm going to give you real talk, all right?
I'm not sure what that has to do with men. She was talking about, like, bro advice and mansplaining. I know the company's called BOSSBABE and it's targeted at business women, and I definitely do think we need to talk about systemic disadvantages that women are at in the business ownership sphere, but I really don't get the connection you're drawing here to feminism and sexism related to, what does that mean?
So in this training, I'm going to give you practical strategies, I'm going to give you actionable advice, and I'm going to give you real talk, all right? And after delivering you a huge amount of value, because I promise you, you are going to have a notepad full of notes by the end of this, tell you the next steps that you can take with me and that you can take with BOSSBABE, all right?
The next steps, what you mean by that is that you're going to want me to pay you for the real advice, right? I'm going to go through this whole training and get no advice, and then you're going to say, at the end, you're going to upsell me and be like, your next step is that you have to pay me to join the paid version of this. That's what's going to happen, right? I mean, you told me you're giving me strategies, actionable advice, and real talk. Those 3 things are all the same thing in different words, so you're not actually giving me 3 things, you're giving me 1 thing. So the no fluff, no BS thing, where's, like, the Dr. Phil? That turned out to be a lie. Let's which is funny, because Dr. Phil's kind of a lie, too. But anyway, my point is no fluff, no BS, but this is already BS, because this is fluff, because you repeated the same point 3 times. So I'm not really trusting you right now.
Right? So if you haven't already done so, grab a notepad and pen and turn your
way
phone
ahead of
to
you.
Do not disturb for the next
It's in the
90
other room.
minutes, because I want you
Don't
to
even have it
invest
here.
in yourself now. If you answered yes to any of those things that we just spoken about, you owe it to yourself to give yourself this time and space to dedicate to your learning, because I promise you, you are going to have so many learnings and breakthroughs on this training. Who am I? Well,
okay, sorry, no fluff, no BS, but we're going to talk about who you are for the next couple of minutes. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to take notes on this. I don't need to memorize who you are.
I'm Danielle.
Hi, Danielle.
I went from owning several chiropractic and physiotherapy clinics in the UK to being the founder of BOSSBABE with my business partner, Natalie. We made over 20 million in the last 4 years at BOSSBABE, and I've basically sat in every single seat in the business. I've done that role at some point. So if you want to pick my brains on business, make sure you stay at the end for a Q&A, because there pretty much isn't anything I don't know, whether it's customer service or selling or marketing or operations.
All right, we'll make sure to stay for the Q&A, but this is not live anymore. I pre-recorded this, so I won't be able to ask questions live, but hopefully she'll answer some of my questions that I will be thinking in my head at that point. I'm curious about her trajectory from owning chiropractic and physiotherapy clinics to doing this business coaching thing. Because it seems like she was a successful business owner if she owned several clinics. I have gotten physical therapy in the past because I have scoliosis. When it comes to chiropractors, I'm a little skeptical because it really depends on what the chiropractor claims they can do, right? So if you've got a chiropractor that you're going to who also has a physical therapy license and they're like, helping align your bones, which, your bones do get out of alignment. It's the thing they got to do. They had to do that to me in physical therapy whenever my hips would shift too much and stuff. So, I'm not a medical professional, but I can imagine that could be legitimate. But then I also know other people, like in those like crunchy mom Facebook groups that would be like, take your baby to a chiropractor if you think they have COVID. Like things like that, where people just do this like pseudoscience shit with it. So I don't know which direction she went with that. I'd love to learn more about her direct trajectory from point A to point B, or how so young she owned so many clinics. Like, was she a medical student? How did she get her start in that in the first place? I don't know if she's going to get to that, but that's the thing. When people are business coaches and they had a successful business, I think the most important thing is for them to tell me how the very specific ways they got their first business off the ground. But every time I see her talk about something, she never tells me what she did to start that chiropractic business in the first place. So I get a little confused.
In that time of being with BOSSBABE, I've mentored over 150,000 students in starting and scaling their businesses. Did
you actually mentor them, or did you sell them replicable courses? Like, did you mentor them? Because to me, the word mentor means you have a one-on-one relationship with them. You talk to that person, they respond to you. You say something to them, they say something to you back. You address the exact point that they're making. You have a back and forth conversation. That's what a mentor is to me. It's someone who knows the specifics of your situation inside and out and helps you along the way. I've had mentors in a lot of things related to my career, and that involved talking on the phone or meeting up in person and talking about the specifics of what I was doing in my company, what they were doing in their company. It's a very personal relationship. What I've seen on the BOSSBABE site is not a mentorship. It is a self-guided course that you sell people that they download and have to follow themselves. Calling it a mentorship feels to me a little bit shady. I would not call that a mentorship. It feels like you're not really selling what you say you're selling. That's my personal opinion.
Featured in Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, Fast Company, Success Magazine, and Al. And I've spoken on stages all around the world teaching business strategy. However, this is also me.
Oh my God, this is literally the meme. Like when you go into a job interview and they're like, what's your greatest weakness? And this is like, wasn't that like on The Office? The Office did this, right? Where they make a joke about it's like, oh, I turned my weakness into a strength. I said my weakness was that I'm too organized or that I care too much about my job. That's my weakness. And like at that point it becomes like a meme. Like you're not actually saying real flaws about yourself. I second guess myself. I sometimes have doubts about myself. Yeah, so does everybody. You're a human. Nobody thought you were perfect. There's a pretty big ego that we thought you were perfect from afar.
I am a recovering perfectionist. Give me a yes in the chat if you relate to that. I often
No, I'm not a recovering perfectionist. I'm not a perfectionist, really. I like to just make a lot of things. I like to make a lot of videos, write a lot of books, do a lot of things, stream a lot. I just like to do things a lot, and some of it's going to be amazing. Not all of it's going to be amazing, but if you do it a lot and you do a lot of it, you're going to get good at it. That's how I see it. A lot of people say done is better than perfect, and that's not to say you should phone it in, that you should half-ass your work or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. More so that, no, I just don't think I'm a perfectionist.
I can guess myself. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, did I make the right decision? Am I doing the right thing? Can I do this?
Second guessing yourself sometimes is necessary. If you go into everything with just definitive confidence, you're going to end up walking into some stupid places, right? So second guessing yourself in moderation is healthy. So I often second guess myself. As long as you're not second guessing yourself 100% of the time, that's good to second guess yourself. So I don't know how this is like. This is also me. This is the other side of me. These are not negative qualities.
I have been absolutely terrified to show up on social media. It literally took me several years to put my face to the camera and be like, oh, hi, this is me. I think I was on and off my first live within 22 seconds, I think it was, when I first did a Facebook Live. So if you're struggling with that, I hear you. I've also really suffered from imposter syndrome.
You skipped over not the smartest person in every room, which is a positive quality. There's that quote, and I don't know who said it or else I'd give credit. I've looked it up. Oh, I like that. That rhymed. I don't know who said it or else I'd give credit. Oh my God, I'm going to make that into a little song. Anyway, the quote, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I've always talked about how that's a good quote to live your life by because you want to be around people who are more successful in given areas and have more knowledge so that you can all learn from each other. So being not the smartest person in every room is actually a positive thing. Again, you're taking your positive qualities and acting like these are the relatable false. Curated imperfection! That's what this is curated imperfection.
And that's been a real continuous battle for me. Yes, Virgo. You guys know me. I'm a Virgo. Some of you already know that. But I also pinch myself every time celebrities repost our Instagram account or DM me. And I share that. I share that because I am not unique. And I want you to know that. I am not unique. And if I know I mean, we're all unique in our own way, right? But nobody's like born as this business goddess. I get it. I get what she's saying, which is that, she didn't have like some special divine business knowledge bestowed upon her. She's a regular person like you and me. She's relatable. So if she can do it, then we can do it, whatever. I'm not here to ask if you're like this unique, specially powered business goddess. What I'm here to ask is how you got your start. I just want to know the specifics because a lot of times there ends up being a lot of nepotism, and I'm not accusing you of nepotism because I have no way to know. I don't know your history, and I haven't been able to find much about the specifics of how those chiropractic and physiotherapy clinics got started in the first place. I don't know how those got started. I don't know if you had an advantage from knowing someone in the industry or having someone in your family in the industry or having a lot of money in your family. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I have no way to know. So that's all I'm asking
It's not necessarily if I can do it, then you can do it too, because you don't know the specific circumstances of the person you're talking to know whether they can do it. You've given no specific reason why you wouldn't have been able to do it, so I don't understand why you're like, oh, if I can do it, you can do it. I don't see the comparison. Like, someone else might have a reason that they're not able to do it, but you haven't given any reason why you struggled other than, like, these human qualities that literally everyone has. So, this is just, you said no fluff, no BS. This is the most fluff BS shit I've seen so far. We're 10 minutes in, and you've just BS'd me.
Can do this, so can you, all right?
Based
Let
on
that
what?
sink in. If I can achieve all of that things on that last slide, with all of these things going on too.
Wait, so you're acting like these are all, like, huge detriments. Like, if I can have business success, even though I sometimes second guess myself and sometimes feel like an imposter, like we're playing Among Us, and I feel a little sus sometimes, and even though I wasn't born a celebrity or whatever you're trying, like, these are... These are qualities every single human has. Guys, I breathe air and drink water. And if I can run a business, that means you can, because I have to breathe air and drink water, too. Okay, well, breathing air and drinking water are not detriments to running a business. Neither are any of the things she mentioned here. I guess you could say imposter syndrome could be because people who struggle with, you know, feeling like they don't really deserve success, sometimes it can be hard to be motivated to move to the next step. But I think we all feel that. I'm not sure if she means she feels it, like, all the time. I don't know. This line of thinking just never makes sense to me.
You absolutely can do this. And it's not just me, right? There's so many women doing amazing things out there who are just like you. And I wanted to share a couple. So Holly, she was on this training, a training just like this that my business partner ran, Natalie. And since being on this training 3 years ago, so I'm warning you, this training is empowering and you're going to want to start making moves.
It's empowering, yet I haven't taken any notes yet because all you've done is talk about yourself.
She has gone on, after 3 years, gone on to build a 6-figure business. So when she came to this training, she didn't know what she wanted to do. She didn't even know if she wanted to start her own business. And in that time frame, she's gone on to create a 6-figure business. And just the other week, she had a launch that did 65,000 in 1 week, you guys. She pinches herself every day that this is now her reality.
So where is the proof that the training caused that, though? Because you talked about how her business, she started it 3 years ago. So that just sounds like 3 years of consistent hard work to me. And maybe the advice she found in your training was super helpful, but again, I don't care what she has to say. I want to know the advice.
And she's not alone, all right? There was also Alana. She was on training like this 4 months ago. She didn't have
Okay, so this one was 4 months ago, so this was a little more recent, I guess.
a business now. She's launched a website and she hit a sales goal within 4 days, all right?
Depends what the sales goal was, so whether that's impressive or not. Was her goal to sell 1 item in 4 days? Was her goal to sell a high-ticket item in 4 days? Was it to sell 10,000 items in 4 days? Like, what was the goal?
Right? I share this because I feel like I needed to hear this. Like, I needed to hear that I could do it, and I just want to show you that other people can, and you can too. I'm also want to share this because for me, there is so much power in owning a business.
I like owning a business too. It's not for everyone. Not everyone aspires to own a business. Some people would rather work a job at doing something else and do a different type of role. Some people like to own a business. It really depends on the person. I will agree though. I think owning a business is wonderful. It's been very fulfilling for me.
And 12.3 million businesses are owned by women in the US alone. That's
Yay!
42% of all
You go,
companies.
girls. Boss
That's
babes.
amazing. That's just in the US. More over the world. And that has grown 144%, you guys, in the last 20 years. And you know why? Because women are really good at starting and owning businesses. Firms and female CEOs produce superior stock price performance compared to the market average, right?
That's a cool fact. I didn't actually know that, so if that's true, that's really cool. I hope that she's not counting MLM reps in here, because sometimes people count MLM reps in women business owner statistics. I don't know if she is or not. She hasn't made it clear, so I'm just going to hope that she's not.
Okay. Can I get a hell yes for that?
Hell yes.
We're really good at this stuff. Women-led startups. This is from Harvard Business Review. Women
Dude, I kind of want... I totally agree that women are great at owning businesses. I just want to see her and Jordan Peterson sit down. Because he talked about how women, like, on average, tend to have a higher degree of the trait of agreeability, and that's what he's noticed as a psychologist when working with women. And someone, I think Kathy Newman, she was interviewing him, and she was talking about, like, okay, well, if a woman who wanted to run a company according to that agreeability trait, why couldn't that company make a lot of money? And Jordan Peterson's like, you're welcome to try. I just don't think it's going to work. Like, that kind of thing. Like, so he seems to think that women are, like, somehow by nature less suited to running businesses. And he doesn't say women shouldn't run businesses. If he has female clients, he definitely encourages them to run businesses. But he's definitely kind of sexist about it, right? And so, you know, she's here. And, you know, I don't trust Jordan Peterson and I don't trust Danielle Canty, but I'd love to see two people I don't trust have an argument with each other. I think that would be entertaining. So I'd love to see her have an argument with him where she talks about how women are better at owning businesses than men, and he talks about how men are better at owning businesses than women. In reality, I don't think it's a gender-specific thing either way, but I just want to see the discussion.
startups outperform those led by men in nearly all areas. They are quicker to adapt, they are more profitable, they are proven higher quality customer experience, and they are more socially responsible, right?
I mean, that's cool. I'd love to know more specifics on that, though. Like, I know she's kind of off topic in terms of the business training, but at least I think now that she's not just talking about herself, now we're getting some actual, like, information. And I would love to learn more about this, because what does that mean in all areas? You know, does that mean in terms of full company revenue? Does that mean in terms of payment per employee, number of people on payroll? Like, what specific metrics are you comparing? I'd love to know that.
And for me, I want to just share with you the benefit of being an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship has enabled me to pay off my student debt, work anywhere in the world, build my dream life in LA, create financial freedom and independence myself, which was really, really important for me, giving me back that control. And I've been able to support and gift my family experiences that they wouldn't otherwise have had. I've had experiences I wouldn't have had.
And I agree. I think that when you do run a successful business, you get to do those things. The same thing is true in a lot of cases of working a job remotely. If you work a corporate job remotely, generally you can live anywhere in the world. You'll make money to pay off your student debt. But just like not every job you get, some jobs are going to pay hourly and not pay enough hourly. Some businesses that you start are going to not be profitable enough, and there won't be enough market demand for it. Like, in either case, you could, like, it's not related to whether or not you start a business that this stuff can happen or can't happen. It's much more multifaceted than that.
I got to fly in a private jet. I'm going to just say I didn't pay for it, but the experience was via entrepreneurs. I got this. It's opened my world up to so many things I personally believe that I would not have had the chance to do if it hadn't have been for entrepreneurship. And now I get to earn a living helping women create the same for themselves. Like, I want to help you do this because I truly believe that this changes the world in a positive way. I think if we have more women in seats of power, the world is going to be a better place. And because of that, I've co-developed a community designed to help women just like you create businesses that they are deeply passionate about whilst making money and making an impact in the world, right? So before we dive in, I want to hear a bit more about you. You're going to see this super interactive, this training, all right? I want to know who in here, drop a 1 in the chat for me, if you are currently working on your business. So you
Wait, okay, so she keeps saying it's super interactive, but she's not really she's just asking the chat to type numbers in to boost her engagement is what it feels like, or to, I don't know why she's doing that. Maybe there's some type of tactile stimulation that they get that keeps their brain focused or something. I'm not really sure. It doesn't feel fully interactive though, because she's asking questions and people are just typing the answers in the chat, but she's not really giving much one-on-one advice. And I know she's going to do a Q&A at the end. It's not fully reasonable to do that with that many people at once, but I wonder if like some kind of like small group breakdown where you divide people into teams and had someone leading each team and everyone could have like a small group discussion. That feels like it would be more truly interactive.
Currently have a business and you are here today to learn how to grow it.
That's me. Yes.
Give me a 1 in the chat.
1.
Give me a 2 in the chat if you are aspiring to start a business and you have a business idea. So you kind of like, okay, I have this idea, I want to do.
You know what, I'll say too also, because while I already do have a business, I want to work on consolidating all my business facets into one thing, right? So I've got my Forever Home Friends business, or my books and plushie series. I have all of my YA novels and things like that. I have my copy editing services, and I have my YouTube channel and my morning live show. So, and I do like custom doll modifications that I might start selling at some point in the future. So let's say that's my business. Those are all different things. So the Forever Home Friends one would be the business that I want to work on growing, right? But the other ones I want to work on consolidating, so I can be like, I'm Savvy Media. That's why my website savvywritesbooks.com says Savvy Media as the header, because I'm trying to consolidate this all into one thing, and I want to refile the LLC paperwork. So let's say two also, because Savvy Media as a brand would be a new launched business, though those would all be branches of it, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm working on.
It. I'm like dipping my toe in the water. Okay, 2 in the chat. So huge amount of ones. Okay. This is great feedback for me, because I'm going to make sure the training, every single one of you gets something from this training. Drop a 3 in the chat if you're here like, I want to be an entrepreneur. It sounds like it's going to open so many possibilities and really help me step into the true power of who I am, but I'm yet to form an idea. I just know that I want to be an entrepreneur. And by the way, I've been in every single one of these positions I've been in, all right? So I know what you guys are going to need. So
I understand the passion for entrepreneurship. I understand why people would study business and entrepreneurship. And I mean, look at me. I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship and being a small business owner and being someone in a position of running a business. But for me, it's always about the thing that I'm actually doing that I'm passionate about. The writing books, the making videos, the working with toys and designing, like the actual creation of the things is what I'm passionate about. So if I didn't have those ideas for wanting to do those things, I don't think I would just think I want to be an entrepreneur in a vague sense. But I don't know. It seems a little like, I understand if this training is going to help people who are at that step and it's a free training, that's great. But while I was recording this, I saw some of the stuff she's going to talk about. She is going to be hard selling us the paid membership. And it just doesn't feel right to me for someone who's at such an early stage of their business that they don't even know what they want to make a business about. They don't even know what field they want to go into. They just know they want to own a business in the abstract sense. It doesn't feel right to be charging people for that, in my personal opinion. If you're someone who doesn't even have an idea for your business yet, the type of work that you're going to be doing regarding brainstorming, figuring out the specific things that you're good at and comparing that with specific things that there's a market gap for, and that early research stage is going to be very different than someone who already has a product that they are selling and is just trying to figure out marketing strategies to expand that. They're just very different sets of advice. So you're either going to have a bunch of advice that isn't going to apply to one group at all, or you're going to have advice that's too advanced for another group and that they won't be able to participate in. Someone's going to be left out at a certain step if you want this to be for everyone. If you try to make everyone your target audience, you're going to make no one your target audience. That's the first rule of business. So I guess I'm a better boss babe. Not really. I make less money than them, so they're onto something, I guess.
We've got 3s, 2s, 1s. Okay. So the recipe that you need to help you with
all right, I'll write this down.
2 and 3, no matter what position you are in,
recipe
is you need a fully comprehensive, tried and tested roadmap. So
okay, cool. I'm going to be taking notes on this, as she said. Okay, the recipe I need. Let's
write
do this.
down.
I am way ahead of you.
A successful business. I'm going to break this down even more for you during this training, okay?
Okay.
So you're going to need a fully comprehensive, tried and tested roadmap, all right?
Roadmap.
You 100% should have mentorship by experts.
Mentorship.
I always say, don't take advice from people who haven't been where you want to go.
Mentorship by experts, I agree. I just don't think you and I, Danielle, view the word mentorship to mean the same thing. I even talked about this in my book, Savvy Business Owner. Having mentors in my life who were in the businesses that I wanted to go into was completely, like, super valuable to me. Very valuable time spent. Those mentors that I worked with were people I got to know one-on-one. They got to know me and exactly what I was doing for work. I got to know them and exactly what they were doing for work. We told each other about our ideas and shared those things with each other. There was a conversation. It wasn't a course that I downloaded, okay? Because to me, mentorship involves an actual interpersonal relationship.
I'm sure all of you experience, people just want to chip in all this advice and you're like, but you're not doing what I want to be doing. So just question, don't listen to them. Blinkers on. A community to lean on. people doing similar things that you are doing, like-minded individuals, so you can bounce ideas, so that you can collaborate, so you can get excited together, right?
I completely agree that community is important. I don't think you should have to pay for community necessarily. Now, that depends. There is one community that I do pay to be a part of that I think is valuable, and that is my Chicago Neighborhood's Chamber of Commerce. Because if you're trying to get involved with things in your local area and you want to be a local business owner, sometimes it can be really valuable to work with other local businesses in the area, see ways you can help cross-promote for each other, see if there are any similar goals that you have that you can work on together and collaborate, and get the word out for your local neighborhood and things like that. So that is the one paid membership that I have, and it is like $100 a year. It's not very inexpensive. It's less expensive than their membership is. So I would say that that one is valuable. I run a free Facebook group called The Real Boss Babes. It had nothing to do with them being Boss Babe. I didn't even know about this company when I formed the group. It was just a play on how people in multi-level marketing call themselves Boss Babes, and how so many Facebook groups that specifically went to empower women in business had a lot of MLMs in them all the time. And I wanted a group where we had no MLMs and just people sharing actual business advice. That Facebook group is linked in my description below if you want to join that group. There's a group of business owners who regularly, we post discussions on the Facebook page. On my Patreon Discord, we have a small business shout outs page and things like that. So I definitely do believe in the power of community, but I don't believe that you have to join. I mean, I guess my Patreon is paid, but we also have the Your Morning Guru Discord, which is free, and that one you can talk about your business ideas in there as well. And my Facebook group is free, and people just ask and answer questions for each other and talk about their businesses and share posts about it and stuff. So my point is that you can find free communities or very inexpensive communities, and also local communities that are very specific for you. It doesn't have to be something vague and expensive like the Boss Babe community, which is just about business in general without any collective ties to location, neighborhood, city, specific types of clientele, types of work that you're doing, anything like that.
Hello, who does not like being gifted that template that you've spent hours making, and then you're like, oh, I could have got this, and it was all done for me, saving me hours, all right?
I'm pretty sure the template is something she's going to charge for.
This recipe takes away the guesswork, the overwhelm, and decreases the time spent building your business.
Even with all these things, there is still going to be guesswork and a lot of trial and error, based on my experience. There's no one recipe to starting a business. These are good pieces of advice, I completely agree. But yes, there's still going to be guesswork.
And increases your earning potential and business success. So write this down, okay?
Already did.
I know all of this because I wish I had this. This is what I needed. I wish someone had sat me down. I'm like, okay, this is the recipe that you need to look out for along the way. And I don't want you to suffer the same mistakes that I did. So I'm going to be giving you lots of parts of that recipe.
You know what? So based on the previous slide and what's coming next, I'm going to consider the actual business advice portion of this as starting at 15 minutes into the webinar. I'm going to make a note of that. 15 minutes in, actual business advice begins. And then we'll see how long it goes for before she starts hard selling us. Oh, and I'll take a hard selling tally mark. Hard selling. I want to say she hasn't hard sold us yet. She has brought up testimonials from people who have done the paid course.
But before I do, I just want to take a second.
Oh my god, I had just written 15 minutes in is where the actual advice started. And then you decided to go back to talking about yourself again.
All right? And by the way, I'm not one for this being like the Danielle show and all this story. That's not what we're going to get to.
I mean, so far it kind of has.
I'm already starting you teaching during this story, okay? So I want to tell you, though, how I came to the position that I'm in and how I know about this recipe. So 6 years ago, I was actually a chiropractor.
Yeah, you told us that already.
Living in the UK.
You told us that already too.
Right. So now I live in LA with BOSSBABE, but I was a chiropractor 6 years ago, living in the UK. And I'd spent a lot of time and money becoming a chiropractor, right? Student debt. Who hears me on the student debt, right? You're like, I'm on the path that I'm supposed to be, yet I'm not happy, right?
Okay, so Danielle's pretty young, right? I think she was 25. So by that age, oh, she's not 25 now. She's I think in her 30s now. But a couple years ago, she owned multiple chiropractor clinics She owned multiple clinics, so it's not just that she had her own private practice, she owned multiple practices. I'm not sure how she managed to do that, especially at such a young age. Like, I guess she went to school for this and then got a job and then opened her own practice and then opened more practices. Again, I wish something's missing.
Like, okay, I should be happy, I should be doing all these things, but like, I'm actually really not happy. And I didn't feel fully aligned with what I was doing. I had no control over my financial future.
Okay, so the financial future point, first of all, I think it's totally valid to not feel aligned with what you're doing. If you're working in a field and you realize after you get started in that career that, like, this career is actually, you don't feel like this is the full contribution you want to make to the world, there's something else you're becoming more passionate about, it's totally fine to make a giant career shift, and I completely admire people who do that. So nothing against her for that. Having no control over her financial future, whether she worked in, whether it's chiropractic, I don't know what the term is for that, chiropractics, whether she worked in that, or worked as a doctor, or worked in physical therapy, or worked any corporate 9-to-5 job, whether she did that, or whether she started her own business, the control over your financial future isn't going to be that different. There's going to be pros and cons in both ways. And I don't understand this narrative that you somehow have so much greater control over your financial freedom if you start your own business than you do if you work for someone else. Which also, she didn't work for someone else. She did have her own business then. Right? Unless she's talking about working for someone else, because she owned her own practice. That's what she was talking about earlier. And now she owns her own BOSSBABE company. That both of those are entrepreneurship. So I don't understand the comparison of how she didn't have control over her financial future in that entrepreneurship, but in this one she does. How does that mean we all are? What if one of us wants to start a chiropractor practice? A chiropractice. Let's just combine the terms. What if I want to start a chiropractice? Do I not have control over my financial future because you have more control now than you did? I'm really confused what you mean by that.
I felt like that was up to someone else.
Who was it up to? You owned your own company then too.
And I hated having to be in a tiny office, like day in, day out. Like, it was sucking the soul out of me, right? And that feeling went on for years, you guys. Like, years. Like,
Wait, if it went on for years, you weren't that old when you started BOSSBABE. You're generally, what, like 22 when you finish college? And I don't know if you had to do any additional years for any medical licensure to be a chiropractor or to get a physical therapy license. I don't know if you did one of those shady chiropractor courses. I'm not going to accuse her of anything, but some chiropractors get their licenses in a shady way. This went on for years, but you owned your own business the whole time. Danielle, your story is not making sense to me. You need to be clearer on this. If you're going to spend so much time talking about your own story, at least be specific, because I'm just confused.
This isn't a one-time feeling. Like, I was continuously feeling like this. Does anyone does anyone else relate to this? Where you're just like,
no,
I feel all of these things and it's been going on for time and time and time. Like, when is it going to stop? All right.
I get it. When I was working in other jobs before starting my own business, I did feel this way, which is why I started my own business. So she's not wrong on that. I get wanting to make that change if that's what's more fulfilling for you. I don't get the financial freedom aspect here.
Right? For me, that feeling went on until 2016. And what happened in 2016 when things started to change for me was my dad had a really serious skiing accident abroad, okay?
I'm really sorry to hear that. That's hard.
Right? And he fractured his pelvis. It was a whole thing. And during his recovery, I couldn't be with him because I had to be in clinic as a chiropractor. And I regretted.
Wait, I thought you owned your own practice. You said in the first slide that you owned multiple of your own chiropractices. I'm really lost.
So much not trusting my intuition and not acting on my impulses. Like, I knew I should have done this sooner. And I was like, if I'd not taken this leap sooner, if I'd started that business, I wouldn't be in this position now. And that was really, really hard for me to deal with because I was like, I've had this feeling for so long and I've ignored it. And now if I bloody listened to it, like, I could have done something about this sooner. But here's the thing about motivation, all right? And you're going to need...
So you're not going to explain how you weren't already owning your own business when you said you owned your own chiropractic. I'm just gonna call it one word because saying them all together keeps making me stumble on the words, and I don't like that.
Pen and paper ready for this.
I got my pen and
Here's the thing
paper.
about motivation. You are either motivated by a pull force, all right? So, and yes, Sophie, my dad is okay now. He did make a recovery, just to close that loop. I don't want anyone worrying. He survived
That's good. I'm really glad to hear that.
it, and he's okay now, but it was a long rehab process.
Yeah, I bet.
But here's the thing about motivation, right? You are either pulled towards something, which is like a movement towards pleasure. So it might be that you are pulled towards location independence. It might be that you are pulled towards, okay, freedom to travel. I want to travel anywhere in the world. It might be you're pulled towards having a bigger house or maybe a handbag. You know, you are
being pulled towards having a handbag. But here's what I'm not getting. There's no guarantee that when you start your own business, you're going to make more money than you would have working for someone else, or that if you start a different kind of business, you're going to be guaranteed to make more money than you would have in the other kind of business. These things are all variables that you have to account for. So it's like I'm pulled toward wanting to have a handbag. There's no guarantee that you're going to be able to afford that if you start your own business. In fact, when you start your own business, like, you know how you were talking about student debt a second ago, when you start your own business, depending on the type of business you start, you're probably going to have to put some money into it up front or fundraise to gain some kind of money up front. You might not have to. If the business you're starting is service-based, then you can start with, finding a few clients to perform the service for, whether that's, I don't know, graphic design service, some kind of home repair service, whatever kind of service you are qualified to provide, right? Versus if you're selling something that's a product, you're going to have money for the initial product development, the initial launch of the product, and the initial, units of inventory and things like that. So there's the financial risk of starting a business that I think is just being completely glossed over here.
Finding these things that you're like, I want that, and that's pulling you towards it, all right? Or you might be like me, and the pull wasn't quite strong enough, but it was the push, the external pain points that made you move. The fact that you felt so trapped, not being able to spend time with your loved ones or your family, or feeling like you were clocking in and out, like you just were not.
But I thought you owned your own practice. What do you mean you were clocking in and out? You could set your hours for your own practice, right? Couldn't you just change it? I mean, I get it if she didn't want to do physiotherapy or be a chiropractor anymore. That's totally up to her. These other elements she's talking about don't seem to have any direct connection to her business. I'm very lost.
Happy and doing something for your purpose, or feeling like you cannot afford the lifestyle that you want, like you have to make a change. So I'm going to ask you this, and I want you to write this down. Just take a few seconds.
Okay. What do I need to write?
What are you motivated by?
What am I motivated by?
Just
feel
into it for a second. Like, take a breath.
Okay, I'm gonna take a breath. I'm gonna feel into it for a second. What am I motivated by? I'm gonna take motivation. What motivates me? Attention. That's the number one thing I'm motivated by. I've talked about that before, like how in the past, if I live stream while I'm cooking, it'll make me want to cook. Otherwise, I have no desire to cook whatsoever. I did the Marie Kondo week on Your Morning Guru where I cleaned out my closet and bedroom and desk and things like that. My only motivation to clean is attention, because I don't care about, I don't care if I live in a really messy environment, dirt and, gross stuff doesn't bother me. I just don't even notice it. It becomes part of the room and I don't pick up on it. And I don't like cleaning, and there's no reward of the house being clean. That doesn't reward me motivation-wise, because I don't care. Like, it just doesn't make a difference to me. But if other people, like if Tyler gives me like positive feedback and is like, oh, I'm so happy that you cleaned because you really helped me out today with that and I feel really valued, then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's why I clean, right? So everything I do comes down to external attention, because I am an attention whore, as I've said before on this channel, which is why I'm on YouTube in the first place. So my motivation for literally everything is attention. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think a lot of people don't want to admit that. I think being motivated by attention is fine. If you are willing to go too far and hurt other people to get attention, then it becomes a problem, right? Then it becomes a problem. But I think a lot of people are afraid to admit that they're motivated by attention, because it's a thing people tell us, like, don't try to be an attention hog, don't try to be so self-centered, and I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting validation from other people.
And it's okay if it's a push, and it's okay if it's a pull. Neither is right or wrong, but I want you to get clear.
Again, like when she was talking about like a bigger house or a handbag as a motivation, like material goods can be motivations too. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If there's something that you really want and you work really hard for it and it makes you happy, that's great too. For me, the motivation is always going to be attention.
And I can see some of you writing in the chat, I'm here by push, I'm here by pull. But tell me, what's motivating you right now?
So I think for me, it's a combination. It's the push, or I guess the I forget which one is which. The moving, the going towards something that you want and going away from things that you hate. So the going towards something that I want is that my motivation is that I want to gain attention. And the moving away from things I don't want is that I'm terrified of being lonely. So I try to find community both online as well as in person. I like owning a business because I can work with other people and work on I guess creativity motivates me too, because if attention was the only thing that motivated me, I would probably, like, I don't know, have tried like a traditional entertainment job or something. So creativity also motivates me.
Drop it in the chat for me. So Evelyn's saying motivated by family and personal growth. Loney is saying helping others to become to go through my situation and not have to worry about that. Finances, travel, financial freedom.
I really want to know where she's getting this financial freedom thing from, because a lot of times owning your own business is a lot more unstable financially than having a job where you're like, I know that having a job isn't a guarantee either, because you can get fired, you like the job, something bad could happen to the company, right? For the most part, when you have a job, you have a guaranteed salary or a guaranteed hourly rate or something that you're going to get. When you own a business, it's completely dependent on performance when you're the owner. Unless you've set aside a specific salary for yourself ahead of time, but that can be dangerous when it comes to making sure everything gets paid for properly and you don't go into debt. So I don't know.
Feel that motivation within you right now, because you're gonna need that motivation. As you heard, I had my motivation. I was like pushed out of there. I was like, I need location independence. I need control of my finances. And
I don't get how you didn't have control of your finances then. You did, like, if you're gonna tell the story of how you went from point A to point B, you need to make your part of the story clear. So in what way did you not have control of your finances? I'm very confused.
I have to absolutely feel aligned with what I'm doing. I want to help more people than I am. But for 2 years, you guys, and no one shares this, but for 2 years, I didn't have a clue what to do. I was a chiropractor. Like, how it's like I trained for something so specific. How on earth am I going to transfer that skill? Like, what on earth am I going to do, right? For 2 years, but I tried. And I tried a variety of businesses. I tried Amazon. I tried network marketing. I tried being a coach for other chiropractors, helping them build their businesses, because I knew I was really good at retaining clients.
So you were really good at retaining clients, yet that wasn't entrepreneurship that gave you financial freedom, and BOSSBABE the company is. I'm very confused. You tried network marketing and that definitely failed, because 99% of people in network marketing fail. I'm glad we can acknowledge that, and that didn't work for you. When you say you tried Amazon, I'm not sure what you mean by tried Amazon. You tried what? A dropshipping company? Dropshipping through Amazon? You tried reselling products on Amazon? You tried working for the corporate company Amazon in customer service or something?
I tried a ton of stuff, all right? I tried, I failed. I tried, I failed. Because I didn't have a roadmap. Like, there was nowhere that was
Okay, the reason you failed at network marketing wasn't because you didn't have a roadmap. It was because network marketing sets you up to fail.
going to that was like, okay, this is the roadmap that you need to follow to figure all of this out. Write this down now. Each time I fail, I'm getting closer to success.
I'll write it down if you really want me to. Each time.
Is this valuable for you guys? Are you already starting to take away some things? I haven't even got into the meat of it yet, so I hope you're ready.
Well, get on it then!
Make sure you're getting a ton of value out of this training already.
I'm writing down what you're saying. I don't know if this is going to help.
What I was finding on this journey, there was no one place to get all this information, right? No one place that gave me the entire recipe. I felt like people were keeping it to themselves, or they would kind of show you part of it, but not the whole thing.
Like what you're doing right now?
Right? I was getting some of the ingredients, but not all of them. So I couldn't actually bake the cake. I couldn't actually build the business and make it really good, because
that's what you're doing right now to me.
I was getting like all these sneak peeks of everything.
So that's why I want to introduce to you Boss Babe. That's how Boss Babe was born, you guys. Natty and I felt the same way and wanted to find a better way. We wanted to find a way that we could help more women, that they didn't need to go through the pain that we had been through. You've heard my story, but Natalie has one really, really similar. Not having the roadmap, struggling, feeling lonely. And so that's why we created a community of ambitious women, now 4.2 million strong. We've had 18 million of the uses of our hashtag. We've built a membership supporting that recipe called The Society, a library of online courses, a popular blog, a podcast, and we've taught over 150,000 students with this.
And that's what I'm teaching you today, guys, right? Write this down.
All right, I'll write this down, but this was on your website. Remember, guys, when I made that Boss Babe video just reviewing the company as a whole? This was on their website, this whole blueprint, the mindset, purpose, audience, revenue, systems, growth. I even reviewed that. This was just like on your website. I'm not learning anything new in this training right now. Are you going to teach me something new? Please teach me something, mommy.
Our 6-step roadmap to building a successful business.
All right, while she's talking, I'm going to write this down just because I'm trying to participate and be a good student over here.
I have 6- and 7-figure businesses, and we've also learned it and perfected it over many years from our mistakes and talking to the best people in the industry and in business. And it will save you time, money, and energy if you follow this roadmap. And I promise you, you can't Google it. I'm teaching you stuff that you
literally can Google it because it's on your website. It's not exclusive to this webinar right here. This roadmap is literally on your website.
Cannot Google today.
Yes, you can.
6-stage
I did it the other week. There's Tony Robbins. There's Tony. And there's Lisa Bilyeu. I'm trying to decide still if I should review her book. There's Jenna Kutcher right there. We're going to review her stuff on Friday. Wait, there's Dean Graziosi. That's Tony Robbins' right-hand man. Dean Graziosi's a scammer supreme, bro. You're not keeping great company here, Danielle. I mean, that's impressive. Tony Robbins is a serial misogynist. Tony Robbins runs conferences where he tells women who are in abusive relationships to give their male partners more sexual favors. Tony Robbins has been accused of sexual harassment 9 times and said that the Me Too movement was causing him to want to hire fewer women for his company. Tony Robbins is one of the most misogynistic people. So how can you be running a business called Boss Babe that's whole mission is to end the mansplaining, empower women in business? We've got so much girl power. Oh my God, girl boss. Right? How could you be running a business that you claim is feminist, but think that Tony Robbins is a cool person to support? That doesn't check out for me. That's not clicking. You need to help me with that one, Danielle.
We've got Lisa Bilyeu, founder of Quest Bars. I'm going to be giving you so much of what I've learned from them in this training. That's why we went on and built the platform so that you could build profitable businesses and experience the community and freedom that you crave. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of these questions like, okay, I'm already getting so much value.
Who's saying they're already getting so much value? Who?
This training is more important than ever before because, as we know, whether it ends...
Okay. Now we're going to exploit world tragedies to try to sell Boss Babe products. Gas prices are at an all-time high. Wow, there's war going on in Eastern Europe and gas prices around the world are at an all-time high. Food is costing more. There's supply chain issues. We have a worldwide pandemic. Wage increases are struggling to keep up with inflation, meaning people are getting poorer day on day. Oh my God.
Being a recession or not, gas prices are at an all-time high. Food is costing a small fortune and wage increases are struggling to keep up with inflation. So I'm giving you a chance to take that power back.
Hey ladies, this past Friday, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned our rights to our own bodies. Don't you want to take back your own right to your body and be empowered? The best way to have your right to your own body is to decide where you want your body to physically be. And when you own your own business with Boss Babe, you can work anywhere you want. I want to vomit. She didn't say that, but like, if this training had happened on Friday instead of Thursday, maybe she would have.
So that you don't have to rely on somebody else dictating how much you're going to earn, and that you can take control of your own financial freedom to earn that more money. Work where you want and when you want. That sound good? Okay. Now let's really get into the meat of this thing.
Only half an hour in and we really get into the meat of it. Okay, I'm going to cross out where I said 15 minutes. I'm going to say 30 minutes. Let's see if she actually follows through.
So I'm sharing with you today the top 2 mindset blocks that are standing in the way of your success right now, how to profit from your passion so that you actually love what you do for work.
Wait, you're giving me like another table of contents of what you're going to tell me 30 minutes into the training? This seems a little disorganized.
The 3 lies that people are telling you about building an audience that are stunting your growth. I'm going to share with you our top secret equation for making consistent sales. So those ones of you who answered 1 earlier, you've got that business, but maybe you're struggling.
All right, I'm hoping that this formula works. I'm going to try it. Genuinely, I'm going to try it.
To make those sales, going to be a game changer in that part for you. The specific systems that you need to generate revenue on autopilot, we're going to be diving deep there. And the growth hacks all successful entrepreneurs use to spend less time, but making more money. So let's go.
Step 1, mindset. Let's do it.
Mindset.
Mindset.
Absolutely crucial for building a business. This is your foundation, okay? This is your absolute foundation to build.
I mean, I agree. I think it's important to stay motivated if you're going to be running a business because there's a lot of work and you're going to come up with a lot of hurdles. So I completely get that.
But the point is, I actively work to overcome them. And if we do that, we can actually take action and be successful at rewiring the brain, because the brain is neuroplastic. You can rewire it to the results that you want. And when you can control your thoughts.
Is anyone in here a neurosurgeon? Let me know if what she's saying is at all true. I mean, I know that people can absolutely rewire their brain with the help of like therapists and, you know, psychiatry and things like that, but this seems a little outside of her realm of expertise, in my personal opinion.
You can control your actions, which then helps you control the results that you create.
Action does not always control results. In business, there are a lot of factors going into it.
So how the brain works: thoughts, feelings, actions. It's like a triangle, all right?
This looks incredibly oversimplified.
They all interact with each other. So just like I said, your thoughts will affect your actions. And I want to show you how. Mindset block 1, which I see a lot of people struggling with. They see something and they're like, oh, that's not possible for me. Like,
what if it's really not, though?
give me a yes in the chat. Let's be honest. Like, who saw when I first opened up with this and I was like, we've done 20 million. Like, we've traveled all over here. Like, oh, that's not possible for me. Like, who thought that?
There are some things that are not possible for people. That's not to say that it's, I guess maybe not possible is not the right term, but I think that there are things where people are being realistic about the set of circumstances that they have, acknowledging that there are actual roadblocks in the way that may be more difficult for them to overcome than for another person to overcome. So for example, starting your own business when you're in your 20s and don't have any children and have some money and not too much debt is going to be very different than starting your business in your 40s as a single parent with 5 kids in an apartment that has the rent prices constantly going up. My point is there's different circumstances, and I don't feel like that's acknowledged enough.
If you thought that, you have a choice right now, because this is what happens, right? You can think it, but you have to rewire it, okay? I'm not saying you're not going to have these thoughts, but you get to choose and take back your power to rewire that. So if you ever thought that's not possible for me,
thanks, she's cured my OCD. Whenever I have intrusive thoughts that I hate, instead of taking my medication, I should just rewire it. I should just open up. I should be like Data on Star Trek. I should get Geordi to come over and open up the side of my brain and work with my neural net and just kind of flip the wires around a little bit. Then my OCD will be gone. Thanks, I'm cured.
you're going to feel a little bit like sad, low confidence, unmotivated perhaps, all right? You're going to feel these things. And then that's going to transpire to feeling like lack of action, not really gonna, why do I really bother, eh? I'm gonna be slow at doing it and finding reasons to prove yourself right?
Maybe I'm just completely ignorant and I feel like an asshole if I am, but is this that big of a problem for most people when it comes to starting a business? Is the mindset block really, is that really like the block that's in most people's way? Because normally it's money that's in people's way, not having enough money to start up a business, or not having enough time because you have to be working outside jobs because you have rent due in a non-rent controlled area where you are struggling to afford your place, or because you have, I remember when we were on Your Morning Guru, we reacted to this video of one of Dave Ramsey's shows. And Dave Ramsey's, it wasn't him giving the advice. It was 2 of his employees. And someone called in and basically said, I am struggling with money right now because I'm working a job that I don't like, but I'm working too many hours a week. I'm struggling to pay rent. I'm a single parent with a child. The child's father lives in this state. I'm not allowed to move out of the state or else I will have a custody issue. And so I can't seek a job in another state. And this state's rent prices are at this, right? And there was this whole like specific set of circumstances they had. And they're like, okay, have you tried moving? And she's like, no, I can't move because I will lose custody of my child if I move out of state. Like things like that just kept happening. And it was like, yeah, sometimes people are in a situation that is really difficult where there's a lot more obstacles. So in my experience, it's like legitimate obstacles. It's not, I mean, mindset is a legitimate obstacle, but I'm saying it's more so like systemic obstacles or like obstacles of situation or circumstance, and most of all financial obstacles that get in the way of this, as opposed to solely mindset. And I agree, if it's hard to get motivated because you don't feel like you have a certain amount of knowledge or you don't have the right confidence to go into something, then yes, that can absolutely be an obstacle. But I think that there's so much focus on this in a lot of business training that I wonder, like, is this really that needed? Do most people feel this way? I don't know. It could be because I'm very overconfident. I'm motivated already. I'm losing motivation by the second, though, because she's boring me.
You felt like that, and thank you for the yeses in the chat and that honesty. The owning it and the honesty of that is what's going to help you change that. Because I want you to rewire it. What happens if you said, that's not possible for me, but then you immediately let a thought pop through your head that was like, hang on a minute. If Danielle can do this, and she suffers from imposter syndrome, and she's not the smartest person in every room, and she struggled with showing up on social media, if she can do it, damn, I can do this.
But what if the reasons that they think it's not possible for them has nothing to do with imposter syndrome or not feeling good enough or just confidence in general? What if the reasons they think it's not possible for them are like financial reasons or like reasons related to physical health or reasons related to family circumstances? Maybe Danielle had some of those obstacles too, but I don't know because she didn't tell us. The only thing she said that were her obstacles were, personal things about, her own self-image, which also is very important to work on. But I just think it's so reductionist to be like, well, if she can do it, then obviously I can do it, because you don't know if the reasons that they feel they can't do it are the same as yours. They might have some very valid reasons. So this is not true necessarily.
I can do that if she can do this. If Holly can do it, if Alana can do it, I can do it.
Choose that thought because it's true. And when you rewind and be like, oh, hang on, I can do it, but yes, I can, I think I can. Guess what? You're going to be more confident. You're going to be more determined. You're going to be more motivated because damn, you're going to try and do that stuff. And you're going to try and figure out your actions. Baby, what am I going to try and figure out? I'm not giving up. I may have failed at this one thing, but I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up now. I'm going to go on and do some more. I'm going to try again.
Okay, that's great. I'm already motivated and I want to know more. I want some business advice. I want you to give me some advice of actions to take because I can't take action if I don't know what actions to take.
It took Danielle 2 years, Took Alana 4 months. Damn, girl, get it, right? Like, think about that. It took Holly only 3 years. So really just think about this. If other people can do it, so can you. It's the mindset that will set you apart. So if you need this right, write down now. If they can do it, so can I. I want you to write.
You know what? I am going to write that down. If they can do it, so can I. Because if Danielle can do it and she doesn't seem to know how to communicate an idea at all.
Mindset block 2. If you catch yourself thinking, I already know that, empower yourself with a thought instead. What can I learn from this?
Okay, so Danielle told me I need to be motivated and feel good about myself, and I said, I already know that. Okay, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from Danielle giving me motivation? Let's rewire it and think about it.
On this training, if you're like, oh, I don't knew that, rewire it. What can I learn from this? Maybe there's something actually I haven't, I'm not quite where I want to be, so there must be something in here that I'm learning.
Okay, what can I learn from this? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. What can I learn?
All right, so what can I learn from this? If you can retrain your brain to see opportunities as clearly as you see problems, you can do anything.
That's some really random ass capitalization. Why did she capitalize you over here but not capitalize you over here? Why did she not capitalize clearly? Why did she capitalize C and problems but not clearly? Why did she? This is random. Why did she choose to capitalize the word she did?
All right. Anything, you guys. You're going to master the mindset. That's going to be continuous for you. You're going to work on that. Now, a lot of you, when we started this blueprint, right, and we started this, I said to you, do you have an idea? And there are a lot of people who don't have ideas yet. but they really want to be doing something that helps them build their businesses, that helps them feel aligned. And
wait, we want to do things that help us build our business, but some people don't even have an idea for their business yet. Then how would you be building it if you don't even
want to get out of bed every day? So I'm going to be teaching you now how to profit from your passion so you actually love what you do for work.
I love how the title of this was so specific. It's like make $10,000. That is a specific goal in a specific time frame that I can know whether or not I accomplish it. Yet all of this advice is incredibly vague, and I don't see how any of this is going to translate to me making $10,000 in 30 days.
So again, I'm going to give you
here we go. Exercise. Let's do it.
At the end for this. But in the meantime, I just want you to write these things down. What you love. All right? And if something pops into your head, just write it down now. What are things that you love? Because let me tell you, when you are doing something you are passionate about.
Okay, I love writing. I love books. I love small business. I love women. I'm gay. I love friendship. I love attention. Those are things I love. Oh, I love creativity in general. I love creativity. I love getting lost in a project. I love toys.
I've got my blinkers on. I'm heading in that direction. I'm changing this for me. I'm changing this for my family. I'm pushed. I'm pulled, whichever is motivating you. It's much easier to tap into this. So what do you love doing? All right.
Those things. I said them already. What's next? What
are you good at? And don't give me those people who just thought, oh, I'm not good at anything. Calling you out there. Mindset switch. You are every single person on this call is good at something.
All right, what am I good at? I'm good at, again, writing. I'm good at writing. I'm good at editing videos and text. I'm good at storytelling. I'm good at speaking to a crowd. I guess being a YouTuber who writes books is already the perfect job for me.
You can turn anything into a business. Any knowledge you have, you can turn into a business.
Not necessarily. You can turn your knowledge into a business if there's demand for that knowledge that you...
We also need to think, what does the world need? All right?
I mean, that's a good point.
I think the world...
I mean, for all the criticism, I think so far this chart is actually very helpful.
Craving right now.
What does the world need? Okay. The world needs less war, abortion rights, LGBTQ equality. The world needs... end to racism. The world needs to stop promoting misogyny. This is the US and the rest of the world, because almost every country sucks. People will be like, just move here. No, every country sucks. There's massive flaws in it pretty much everywhere you go. So what else does the world need? The world needs... I don't want to be, like, vague and be like, more love, because that's fucking vague. I'll say those things for now.
That could be, worked so that the world needs it too. That people will buy it and people will pay for it. And that's it. What can you be paid for? So maybe it's...
All right, let's combine these all. You know what? Here's the thing, though. I already have a business, which is, again, like I predicted at the start. I think this is a good chart. I will review this and say I think this is a good chart for someone who is starting a new business, who doesn't have any idea what they're doing yet, who hasn't launched their company at all. But it's, for someone who's already doing something, I guess maybe it could help you reframe certain things to figure out, like, what products the world needs and how you might need to adjust them, but this training isn't really getting into the specifics of that. It's just kind of treating it as if you're at square one. So this part of the training wasn't really targeted at everyone. But what can I be paid? Ad revenue on YouTube, sponsorships. And since the world needs more of human rights, I guess this is telling me that I have to write more books and make more videos about those topics, which I can do. It's just so mentally draining when I get the anti-LGBTQ people in my comments to tell me that God doesn't love me or whatever.
All these things that you're passionate about, so you're like, okay, what do I love? Well, I love dance. What am I good at? I love dance as well. Okay, well, now I know I need to do something with dance. Well, what will people pay for with dance? What does the world need about dance? Julia Huff with Kinergy. Kind of where she came from, that dance, and she turned it into a business. She's like, the world needs more positivity and tapping in their body. And when you find that, you find your purpose right in the center of it.
So that's my purpose. I'm gonna write books and make videos about the things I already write books and make videos about.
This is based on the Ikigai model. It's a Japanese ethos. And I do this with my students because it's so, so powerful. Because like I said, when you are aligned with that purpose, like you can go on and do anything, all right? So really align with this. So write down these things.
If you're aligned with the purpose and have the resources, you can go on and do anything.
So the second part, the Boss Babe business blueprint, the
audience is important. She is right about this. Your target audience, finding them and knowing what you're going to sell to them is absolutely key here.
We built an audience on social media. It is a free platform available for every single one of you. Every single one of you has this on your phone. I'm going to teach you how to utilize it. We're going to go through the 3 lies that
Okay, 3 lies about social media. This might actually be useful. When this whole seminar is done, I'm going to figure out what percentage of the time was actually super useful and what wasn't.
you've been told, building an audience that seriously stunted your growth. The first myth, have a good offer, product and people will come. Incorrect.
I'll write that down.
Myth 2, post really good content and you'll make sales.
Have a good offer and people come on your mom. Number 2, post good content. So these are lies, so these things aren't true. So post good content and make sales is not true. And then what's the last one?
Size matters more than anything because sales is a numbers game.
Size matters in terms of how much I'm able to come on your mom.
Not true. The key to building and making money on social media is building a targeted audience, all right?
I think that's definitely true. So I'll say instead, here's my note, instead, build targeted audience. I completely agree. Instead of saying, though, she told me I need to reframe my thoughts. So instead of saying, I already knew to build a target audience, Danielle, instead I'll say, what can I learn from this? So maybe Danielle can give me some advice as to how to specifically find the right people on social media.
Write that down. Building a target audience. 1 million followers does not equal $1 million. It actually makes way more. And I've seen Jamie make $25,000 in 24 hours with 2,400 followers.
Well, I need to know exactly how she did that because I have 5,000 followers on Instagram and I have 37,000 followers on this channel, and I've never made $25,000 in 24 hours unless it was like that was just that was her big push for the year or something, and all the money came in at once because of how her business is structured, and she has like 1 high ticket sales day a year or something. You're gonna need to give me some specifics on how that happened. I believe you, but there's definitely more to the story, right?
She had a targeted audience who cared what she was actually sharing and doing.
What was she sharing and doing? What was it? Why are you leaving out all the important details?
All right. So the first step in building a targeted audience is understanding exactly who your ideal client is. All right. So once you have a purpose, like who's going to buy that? Who is your ideal client?
Okay.
What do they follow? What are their goals? What are their aspirations? What are they relating to? And I'm going to give you a really crucial tip here. Okay. If you talk to everybody, you will talk to nobody. So it's
See, Danielle, that's why I was trying to tell you that. If you try to make everyone your target audience, you're making no one your target audience. That's what this training is doing. You're trying to talk to everybody in this training, but your training is not specific enough and it's reaching nobody because all you're doing is throwing vague business guru magnetic poetry cliches at me. Well, I don't get is how a business guru can be like, if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody, and then proceed to try to make their course targeted at everybody.
So really understand, like, what does your ideal client want to learn? And here's a tip. Write these down. 4 times.
The Boss Babe 4. I'll write those down. The Boss Babe 4. Fab 4 of Boss Babes. They should have all started with B's. That would have been better because it's Boss Babe, but these are all E's. And so emotion, education. Also, if they're all E's, why did she call them the Boss Babe 4 and not the 4 E's? Because that would be a better... The 4 E's for E's. 4 E's, the number 4... letter E, 4 E's, 4 F-O-R-E-A-S-E, the 4 E's for E's, right? I just came up with a better tagline for you right there. The 4 E's for E's in business. Look at that. That was brilliant. I just came up with that for you right there. You owe me $25,000 if you want to use that slogan. I just copyrighted it right now. Okay, Danielle, you owe me $25,000. Emotion, education, entertainment, enemy. Run your business with ease. Use the 4 E's for ease in running your business. See, hire me. I'll be a boss babe.
Types of content. If you are creating a piece of content, it should contain one of these E's. It should make someone feel something and have an emotion. Happy, sad, crying, empowering. or it should educate them on something, teach them how to cook, teach them how to dance. It should entertain them, all right? So just sticking with that dance one, like the TikTok dancers, like why do we watch them? They're entertaining. Or it unites them over an enemy, all right?
This video is doing all 4 of them. I'm getting really emotional when I'm yelling about how I'm not getting value out of this course. I'm educating people on what I do in my own business. I'm being entertaining by making jokes about coming on all of your moms. And my enemy is BOSSBABE.
Right, so here's an example like pollution. If you were, maybe you had a recycled bikini company, and so the enemy is like pollution into the ocean, right? So unite them. So every single piece of content.
She's definitely right. The more, if you can incite anger in your content, you're gonna get a lot more interaction. It's definitely true. I, as an attention whore, know that like the back of my hand.
Content you create should have one of these E's. Who relates to Judith? Judith had a reel in her phone in a draft section for ages. She wasn't going to post it. Who's done that?
I have not done that.
Created posts, then not posted it. Created them, they sat there, they not posted it. All right? Okay.
No. I filmed a couple videos that I didn't post for this channel. So my channel currently has over 600 videos on it. I've maybe filmed and not posted like 3 videos ever. And the reasons for that is that like the videos that I filmed and didn't post were on like very serious world topics. And I just realized I wasn't like in an emotional place to handle that. So I ended up putting them off and then sometimes never releasing them. But that's 3 out of 600. So that's what, like 0.5%. So that's very rare for me.
I'm seeing the yeses now. If you wait for perfectionism, no one will see it. If you wait for it to perfect, these views will be 0. Instead, Judith posted it. She got 4,380 views. All right. What's better? Being perfect and no one seeing it, or being like 80% there and 4,300 people seeing it?
But how did she get 4,000 people to see it? Because sometimes you do one that's like pretty good and like 2 people see it. So you got to help me with the algorithm here, dude. You run an influencer school. You can give me more.
I think we know the answer, right? So grab out your phones right now.
You told me to turn off my phone for this seminar. I left my phone in the other room thinking I was being an extra good student. Now I gotta go get my phone. Thanks a lot. All right, I have my phone just like she asked. Oh, it's talking to me. It's making me talk to it. This is creepy. Why is the phone listening to me so much? Okay, I have my phone just like she asked. All right, what do I need to do with my phone?
And I want you just to take a picture of this training, drop it on social, tag.
Okay, I went all the way to get my phone and you're doing it for your own branding. You're like, you drop it on social media. It's gonna help. The fact that you're doing this training is gonna get you more followers or whatever. No. You're trying to get me to make content out of... Okay, let me take a picture of my messy-ass desk. Let me take a picture of myself recording this. Alright, boop. Alright, this is gonna go up on Instagram. I'll do it right now just because you asked nicely. I'm trying to stay off of Instagram because Classically Abby's audience is telling me that I'm a murderer because I support abortion rights. Plus is on my story. I'm at the BOSSBABE webinar. Video coming Wednesday. Boop, that's going in my story. And share.
Me at bossbabe.inc and tag myself at Danielle Canty.
I'm not tagging you because I don't want to come up on your radar because I feel like since I'm critical of you, it would be very rude for me to tag you.
Share with me. Get a post up there today. A story.
Like, I wouldn't normally tag Classically Abby either, but I had to respond to her because she was like, it's so great that Roe versus Wade was overturned because now there's going to be so many more babies that get to live and have amazing lives. And I was like, or there's going to be so many mothers that also die. And then her comments are like, no, they won't.
Start actively doing things. Because if you want to build that business, social media is such an amazing gateway. So just grab your phone, take a picture. What are you learning on this training? What have you learned so far, perhaps? All right. And tag me. I want to see. And then you want to be able to convert your clients. All right.
Okay. So let's write down ideal clients. And then we've got cold, warm, and hot. And that makes sense. Cold calling. People call it cold calling when you are calling someone for the first time and you've never interacted with them before to make a sales pitch. That's a cold call. They're a cold client, right? Warm, you know, you've interacted in some way before. And then hot when you have a rapport built already, which I would agree. I would agree. And I think this is true because I do think that people who watch my YouTube channel are more likely to buy my books than people who don't. I guess I do have cold clients mostly in person when I do festivals and things like that, which happens a lot less since the pandemic started, but that's what I used to primarily do, and that's how I would interact with cold clients, with like a cold pitch talking to them there. But then, you know, through talking to them, eventually you transition through those stages. So I would agree with this overall.
3 stages your audience will go through. Cold, they just came to you. Warm, they've been consuming and experiencing your content for a little bit. They are hot and they're responding to your calls of action. They're clicking on your links, they're doing the things. The hotter the temperature, the more likely they are to buy, all right? And you have to take them through this process to get someone to buy on your social media. So cold, I'm giving you some stages that people will find you and they'll move through. So cold audiences, people find you word of mouth, the explore page, Facebook ads, all right? Warming up, they're maybe engaging with your content a little bit more. Maybe you're giving them a freebie, so you're getting their email addresses.
That's what you did to me. You gave me this webinar as a freebie and you got my email address, but I'm gonna unsubscribe. But yes, I completely agree. I've given out freebies to get email addresses too. I think that that's a lead magnet. That's a totally normal strategy. As long as people consent to being on the email list, there's no issue, and then they can unsubscribe at any time.
And when you get to hot stage, you're able to reach out to them and lead them directly into a sales call.
Okay, a sales call for what? So again, this is a thing where, remember, you said it yourself, Danielle, if you try to talk to everybody, you're going to talk to nobody. So there's some people who maybe want to make a sales call. There's some people who they're trying to gain a specific client for a specific type of thing and they want to call them up and say if they're interested in something. Sales calls? Do you mean like cold calling someone? I guess not cold. I guess it's hot calling, not cold calling. But you're going to call someone on the phone. Have a call about what? That really depends what your business is. If you're selling products that you want people to buy from you and you ship them to them, there isn't really a need for a phone call there. So what is the sales call you're talking about? If I just want to regularly sell more products through my website, I don't need to be having sales calls to do that. Sales call would be more for like if you want to set up someone as a regular coaching client, or if you are trying to configure like an event for something specific. I really need to know what you mean by that.
So not every single part of your audience is going to be hot. You're going to have them in these separate buckets all the way through. This is how they go from knowing you, actually learning and liking you, and then trusting you. So I want you to remember that. It takes people time to move through this funnel, we call it. I'd agree with that. To the
funnel. I mean, it is a funnel. She's not wrong.
Other side. They get hotter each time, and your job is to
I get hotter each day.
Keep making them warm, okay? So Monique, you said I've been stuck at cold, so you're going to...
I guess I like that she is responding to comments. I assume that comment's really there. I pre-recorded it, so I can't see it now.
That's where you start having to do more regular posting, really understanding what they're enjoying, what they're not. But you have to be posting regularly to do that. Then I just want to remind you, some of you are going to be like, oh, I don't have any hot followers. I'm just starting from the beginning. Absolutely not true. Every single one of you has hot followers now because you know people.
Because you know people. So are you saying that like people in our lives, like family and friends, should be clients? I mean, that's not entirely false. That can be true, but that's definitely not the way you want to go about it for the most part. I get it. When I did my first Kickstarter fundraiser, I did reach out to everyone I know. I talked about that in Savvy Business Owner. I don't recommend doing it in a follow-up program kind of way. I don't like that in terms of sales techniques. My sales technique is much more like, I reach out to you once about something. If you're interested, you get it. If you're not, you don't, and then we move on. If you're doing that with people that you already know, because I never want to turn my relationships into sales pitches or anything. But also making sales within your own community is not a bad thing either.
I guarantee everyone who has a social media probably has more than 100 followers. All right? That's 100 probably hot.
Is that true? A lot of people I know with social media have way less than 100 followers. I think it depends how many people in your life use it.
People, because they know you personally.
Tiana found this, right? She was just like, hang on a minute, I'm going to post on social media. I wasn't going to, but I just put something up. And then a girl that she knew from her gym reached out to her, right? She knew her from the gym already. She posted on her social media. That night, she got 5 clients.
Okay, so what I'm confused about here is, are you suggesting we make separate business and personal social media, or are you suggesting that our personal social media should also be for our brand? Because if someone's trying to start, like, a brand, like you talked about It Cosmetics earlier. I didn't know anything about It Cosmetics, but I'm imagining that, like, the founder of It Cosmetics probably has a personal Instagram page, and then they probably also have an Instagram page for the business. So are you saying to combine those things completely? Or are you saying to post a little bit on each one? I mean, I'm sure I could try different things out and figure that out. For the most part, I post things on my personal Instagram because people get to know me as a person, and I post news about every business thing I do on there. And I have found that to be the best strategy for me personally. But I want to know what you think is the best strategy because you've grown your Instagram way bigger than I have. So I want to know from you. That's why I'm at your webinar.
10 new followers. So any of you are catching yourself going, oh, I don't have any hot. You absolutely do. And she says at the bottom of this, I'm sharing some of our community. You ladies can do it too. All right. Who's realizing now that they have hot people in their audience?
I have a lot of hot people in my audience. Hot people attract hot people. Hey, who's hot in my audience?
Then fourth stage, right?
All right, revenue.
Just give me a yes. Are you with me? Are you getting value from this? I know there's a lot, but it's so, so important.
Am I getting value from this? The past 10 minutes have been better than all the stuff before it. And I think maybe for someone who's brand new, I'd be getting value. I think that the 4 E's thing was actually pretty good. I think the 4 E's of a social media post, I thought that was actually pretty helpful. I actually like that one a lot.
Revenue. Our top secret equation.
Top secret equation! What is it? Is it really a secret, or is this going to be like when Gabby Bernstein says she has a secret to writing a book and it's like, outline it. And it's like, that's not a secret. Everyone knows that.
For making consistent sales in your business.
Is this a secret?
If you're not making or scaling sales, those of you who answered 1 earlier and said you had a business and you wanted to make more sales, listen up.
That's me.
Okay?
I was number 1. I want to make more sales.
Okay? If you're
She's really building this out too, like 2 different slides to introduce this topic.
not making or scaling sales, we're about to identify the exact reason why. So a little while ago, one of my clients came to me and she was like, I had 40 sales calls. I reached out to every single person in my network and audience, and I didn't make 1 sale. Like, what is wrong with me? I can't even get 1 client, even though I know I'm really good at what you do. I've made $0 in my business, and I can't keep going like this. All right?
So 40 sales calls, no sales. What was she saying during the sales calls, and what was it for? I think that sales calls generally don't work well. Most people don't buy things over the phone. Is she doing it for a product? Was she doing it for a specific service? I don't think being the one to reach out on the phone does a lot just because people hate telemarketing. So I'm a little confused on what she was actually doing, but okay.
I was like, wait, 40 sales calls and no sales? Like, something's not right there, particularly when you're really good at what you do.
It depends what the service is or the product is. Some businesses aren't conducive to sales calls and some are.
It's like, let me teach you the sales equation that I have utilized many times myself and have done this with many, many clients, all right?
All right.
So she was like, okay, show me because I'm doing something wrong. She had a great mindset. She had a great attitude. She was there to learn. She was not, I've done this before, I've learned this before, because she's like, no, I need help. And I taught her this, which I'm going to teach you in a second. And
okay, the sales equation. She went from making $0 to she made $4,000. Oh my God, she's going to keep building this up forever. When are we getting to the equation? I have space in my notes to write down the equation.
she went from having no paying clients to earning $10,000 in 6 weeks.
Also, when you give me the equation, you're going to have to let me know what you mean by sales call. Do you mean a literal phone call that I initiate to another person? Because that's not going to work for a retail business.
By utilizing this equation, all right? And it's not just her. We've utilized this with...
It's emojis? It's Discord? Is that Discord or Slack? I can't tell. That's either Discord or Slack.
several other people. They've tried and tested it, and it's worked for them as well. 12,000, 20,000. You can see it here. Sold out. So...
okay, here we go. Here's the flow chart. All right, so ideal clients is number 1. We got to find the ideal
write
clients.
these things down. Ideal clients. You have to know who your ideal clients are, just like we spoke about in audience,
Yep,
okay?
you already told me that. Mm-hmm.
Understanding your marketing is really, really important. Then from there, you have to make sure you have a good offer or product, all right? Really understanding, well, hang on a minute, those ideal clients, is there, you know what?
Wait, so far this is that I need to have people who want something and I need to be selling them something good. I'm sorry, is this new information to anyone? This is the top secret equation, is that I have to have something good to be someone who wants it? I'm sorry, what?
We did.
Here I thought I was gonna sell absolute shit to people who didn't want absolute shit. I was just pulling dog poop out of people's yards and going door to door asking people if they wanted to pay me $10,000 for it and making no sales and be like, what am I doing wrong? I knocked on so many doors.
Right at the very beginning with the purpose, is there a market for it? Will I get paid for it? That's what you really need to think about. And don't name it something really, really clever and like confusing. Tell me, what does it do? Tell me, as they say in Britain, like, what does it do on the tin?
That's my favorite expression. I talked about that in Monday's video. That's my favorite thing they say in the UK is what it says on the tin. It's all about the expectation and making sure your client knows exactly what they're going to get from you. But that's very ironic for her to say because a company called BOSSBABE tells you absolutely nothing about what it's going to do. It really is just like an alliteration. That's all it is. It's just an alliteration. It doesn't tell you anything about what the business is going to do. So I don't understand how all of your advice is stuff that you don't apply to your own business. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Right? Just put it out there. Like, what does this product, what problem does this solve? Don't try and get complicated with all of your languaging. And also you need to be doing market research to make sure it is priced correctly, okay? So your ideal clients, making sure your offer is priced correctly against other people in the market. That's that purpose section that I spoke about earlier, right? So what the world needs and what you can need to be paid for.
Okay, so far you told me I have to sell something good at a price people are willing to pay for it to people who want it. Didn't we learn this in like the Girl Scout cookies? Like, what kind of business advice for this? Okay, next is messaging.
And then the messaging. So messaging is really, really important because, like I said earlier, you see how all of this loops into the stuff we've already gone through? If you are trying to speak to everyone, you're really trying to speak to no one. You have to
like you're doing right now.
Pain points, okay? You have to understand what they're going through. What I like to do is have a person in my mind, okay? Like, who is my avatar? Who am I speaking to? So an avatar is who you're marketing to. And so ours is Amber. She lives in New York, right? But that doesn't mean Celia, Deirdre, Sandra, Rachel also on this call. This isn't valuable for, all right? So, but I have to speak to Amber to know that I can also speak to those other people, all right? That is
okay, wait, so I should come up with my avatar. Hold on, I'm going to make this up right here. Avatar. So my ideal client that I'm speaking to. This would be a fun thing to make into an exercise. Instead of just like giving that as background knowledge while doing an exercise that is telling me nothing, it would be fun if you ran us through an exercise about how to make our ideal client that we're talking to. I think that would have actually been a more functional thing to have in this course. That's just a little review. So my ideal client, okay, depends. So for my YouTube channel, so I have a few different facets and they all have like overlap in audience, but slightly different audiences, right? So for YouTube, my ideal audience member, based on looking at my analytics, I would say this person would be a woman. The majority of my audience is women. They would be between 25 and 40. They would be in the US or Canada. That's based on my audience. Her name is Emily. She's 28 years old. She's a creative person who makes stickers on a Cricut. Dude, I'm just gonna end up coming up with a book character if I keep doing this. She's struggling to tell her evangelical mother she's a lesbian. She enjoys working out, reading romance novels, and browsing Etsy. That's the ideal customer I made up, or the ideal audience member for my YouTube. So when I talk to you guys, I'm talking to Emily, who's 28. Oh, where does she live? She lives in Indiana. Then for Forever Home Friends, I need to make up a client for that. Forever Home Friends, the person that I'm talking to, my avatar, is named Jennifer. Jennifer is 37, and she has 2 kids under 10. She is a teacher of first grade, and she lives in Chicago. She has 2 dogs and 1 cat. So I talked to Jennifer, 37, who has 2 kids under 10, who's a teacher, lives in Chicago, and with 2 dogs and 1 cat, and wants to encourage literacy and social consciousness in our youth. See, this is a fun exercise. I'm just like, these are going to be my D&D characters. I have no idea how to play D&D, but I'm going to have these characters play. Emily, the 28-year-old lesbian who makes stickers on a Cricut, and Jennifer, the 37-year-old teacher mom in Chicago. Those are my clients.
It's really, really important. And from there, you have to gain trust. Just like we spoke about earlier, things that help gain trust, write this down. Having testimonials. So if it's the first time you are selling this product, give away some stuff.
Okay. So you guys, I need some more testimonials. If you've enjoyed 90s Kids or Cancel Sean Boston or Sculpt Yourself or One Final Vinyl or any of the Forever Home Friends books or Savvy Business Owner, go ahead and leave a review on Goodreads and Amazon. Or don't. You don't have to. I'm not going to make you guys do anything for me, but if you want to help, that's something you can do.
For free in exchange for testimonials, all right?
Yeah, that's what
Maybe
authors
have,
do with ARCs. I agree.
Recommendations or reviews on there. Maybe have, like, if you are teaching, like, your credentials. Like, what are the credentials that...
What are your credentials? I still don't know your credentials.
So always make sure you are sharing people why they should trust you. Really, really important. And then finally, the close. Who is guilty of not asking?
The close is important. I wrote a whole chapter about this in Savvy Business Owner in my business book where I talked about making a sale, how the close is one of the most important parts of it, or the ask. The ask is also called. Or I guess the close is when the person agrees to the deal. The ask is when you ask for the deal, right? It is a thing that when you are selling something, either face-to-face or on the phone, it depends how you're selling too, because again, if you are selling something online and you want people to just sales from your store regularly, it can be hard to incorporate the ask into that because there's a layer in between how they heard about you and how they're buying, right? Meanwhile, if you're selling something in person, there is a moment in the conversation where after you've told them all about the product, you want to say, would you be interested in taking this one home with you? Would you be interested in this particular product? And asking them straight up a yes or no question about it, that does actually get the ball rolling. And what that does, in my experience, when I've been selling from behind a booth at a festival, and I'm going to sell someone's looking at the Princess Alley book and plushie. They're looking at it and I say, so are you interested in the Princess Alley book? In that case, sometimes they might say, yeah, you know what? I think I'd really like this book. Yes, I'd like to buy it. And then they make the sale. Everything's great. Either that or they'll pause for a minute, think about it and be like, you know, is it good for this age group? And then they'll start asking you more questions to get out what their, you know, hang-ups are about whether or not they're sure if they want to buy or not. And then the other option is that they might say, you know, no, I don't think I'm going to today. And they say no. Or sometimes at a festival, they'll say, I want to look at every booth and loop back around. And normally, at first, I thought that was an excuse and that was people's way of just like getting out of it. But a lot of times they actually do come back. So that can just be legitimate as well. So that is my experience with the close or the ask. I think when you're doing face-to-face sales or out loud sales in a synchronous type of way, you know, as opposed to asynchronicity where it's like you put something on social media and then someone follows your link to find something. Like if you guys are watching this YouTube channel right now, we are not currently having a synchronous conversation. We're having an asynchronous conversation because you're watching this, and if I put links in the description below, you can go ahead and check them out, but that doesn't mean necessarily that I'm going to be able to make the ask to you as you're actually looking at it because we're not on the same wavelength, same wavelength, 3 inches. But if I'm making a sale at a festival, it's synchronous. I get to hear their questions in real time. I get to see them browsing the products in real time. We get to have that talk. So whether you're going to make a close depends on whether it's synchronous or asynchronous. And that depends how the close is going to happen in that way. So I hope she delves into some of those differences because I want to be able to visualize what this looks like. What she hasn't done, she's given a lot of testimonials, but she hasn't given an example. So I don't know exactly what is happening in these cases. Someone gained new clients. Okay, how did that happen? How were they contacted? How did they close that deal? What did they say? But build a scene for me and play it out a little bit because I want to be able to actually visualize these steps in motion, and instead I feel like I'm getting more of the concepts without the practicality.
For the sale, right? Oh, I didn't ask for the sale. You have to ask for the sale.
A lot of times people forget to ask for the sale. That is true.
Selling is service. If you are so confident in the product that you have, why would you not tell people about it? Why would you not know if they had this product?
Good point. Danielle, you've inspired me. Guys, in my description below, check out Forever Home Friends. That's my series of books and plushies based on real rescue dogs, and our first cat character is currently available for pre-order. You can pre-order that, or you can take a look at any of our other characters that are currently out, and then I also have all of my books linked in the description below. Since it's the end of Pride Month, I'm going to recommend 90s Kids, because that is an LGBTQ time travel romance.
It would make their lives better. That's absolutely why you should be confident about sharing. It's up to them whether they buy, but if you are confident.
I'm confident that 90s kids will make your life better because everyone has always wanted a lesbian Back to the Future, even if they didn't say so. I don't think it was just me that wanted that. I think we all wanted Back to the Future with lesbians.
10K in 30 days, what does that look like? It can feel daunting, but it doesn't need to be.
All right, so I want to make 10K in 30 days. What are my steps to doing that? So I need to figure out if I'm selling one $10,000 product or 10. Okay, so in between the end of June and end of July, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to make $10,000 in 30 days. She's breaking down the differences here, and then I'm going to break down a few for myself to try to figure it out.
It can be one product at 10,000, all right? It could be 10 costing $1,000. It could be 100 at $100. Break it down so it's easy and simple for you.
Okay, this way I can visualize it. Okay, this is fair. I think this is actually a good exercise. All right, 10K in 30 days. So let's see, my products are, so if I have a book and plushie collection on the Forever Home Friends website, the book and plushie collection is $40. So $40 is one collection on Forever Home Friends. I'm going to combine everything and say I'm going to make a combined $10,000 in this 30 days of everything, right? So let's say I do $40 of that. That's for one collection. So if I were to sell $10,000 worth, that would be, I want to say, is that 250? 250 of them, which could be kind of hard. I don't normally sell that much. So 250 of those I don't necessarily think is feasible at this time with where I'm at. I am going to push for a greater effort for those though. So maybe in this next month I will plan to sell maybe not 250 of those, but you know what, let's say 25. Let's say 25 $40 collections, and that is 1,000 of the 10,000. Okay, and then I'm going to make, okay, so if I'm putting up 3 YouTube videos a week now, so that's a great increase, and they're also longer. So I'm putting up 3 longer videos a week, and I'm doing sponsorships. So let's say in this month, I'm going to probably make about $600 in sponsorships and probably about $400 on Patreon. Let's say I've got sponsorships and Patreon combined. Sponsorships plus Patreon, I can estimate 1,000. So that's 2,000. So I need to make $8,000 more dollars. So I think that realistically, the best month I've ever had on YouTube in the past has been $6,000 in ad revenue in 1 month on YouTube. So let's say I'm going to do that. Let's say I'm going to put balls to the wall and have a month that good again, which doesn't happen often. That happened once. YouTube ad revenue. Let's say I'm going to bump it up. Let's say I'm going to make $6,000. That happened once over a year ago. But I'm going to make it happen this month. I'm going to figure it out. So that's $8,000 now. I need to make $2,000 in something else. Okay, so I've got a bunch of other books I can sell. So I've got books, and then each book I sell for between $10 to $15. So let's just say I'll sell 200 books for $10 each. Let's say roughly 200 novels. Let's say I sell 200 of my novels. Okay. So if I break that down, in the next 30 days, if I sell 25 Forever Home Friends collections, actually, I'm doing a couple markets. So 25 would be like for selling online. I could probably sell more than that. Okay, let's just say though, I sell 25 $40 collections. I get $1,000 on sponsorships and Patreon. I kill it on YouTube and make $6,000. Okay, and I sell about 200 copies of novels this month. So to do that, to sell more novels, that means I'm going to need to put out more author newsletters, mention my novels in every video. So this is my roadmap to making $10,000 in the next 30 days. Let's see if it works.
You always work back from your goals. Really, really powerful lesson there. Boss Babe Business Blueprint. We're getting towards the systems stage now, okay?
All right, systems.
So if any of you are really struggling with that first part and getting to that first 10K, you're really going to be focusing on mindset, purpose, audience, and revenue, okay? Really focusing there, but there's some great tips on systems and growth that I just want you to hear about. So systems are so important for your business because they're going to save you time.
Okay, I think this is actually fairly useful, where she's going to recommend some specific services to use. I think this is fairly useful.
Systems should.
Now, I don't know if she's affiliated with any of them, other than like the Boss Babe community. She obviously is because she runs that business, but I don't know if she gets like, kickbacks on Canva or anything like that. I don't know. If she does, I assume legally she'd have to disclose that.
Always save you time. Conserve and preserve your time. So I want you to ask yourself these questions, all right? What tasks do I repeatedly do? All right, write that down. What tasks do I repeatedly do? Come back to this after the training, because the tasks that you're doing repeatedly, you're going to want to find a better system for it. So my
tasks I repeatedly do. Well, I mean, I have to edit dead space out of videos. I guess in theory, if I hired a video editor, I could put out daily videos, and then, but I'd spend a lot of money hiring an editor if I paid them what I should pay them, because I don't want to pay people unfairly. So I like editing videos.
What tasks do I do repeatedly that connects two systems together? All right. So getting people to access their course, I used to have to do these weird links. I found technology that would help me. All right. So just ask yourself these questions.
Okay, yeah, I love that Instagram started doing the story that lets you put links in your story without having to have 10,000 followers. I love that. So maybe, you know what, one thing I do is I have to link to things a lot. So I am going to make it a habit of posting links daily on Instagram. Because I do post when I have a new video, I do post the link to it, but I don't regularly post the links to like each of my novels on Instagram. And let me do that with like a Canva graphic.
What things do I create repeatedly? Maybe it's templates. And
if I want to sell 200 novels in the next month, I'm going to have to do that. That's going to be hard. That's going to be hard.
Maybe you want to do things in Canva or within the Boss Babe community. Like we were finding that we were creating stuff. So we did a template for it, right? So it make things easier for everyone. If you start identifying these pieces, it will save you time, energy, and therefore money. I have
Okay, so that was Slack. That wasn't Discord. It looked kind of like Discord, but I wasn't sure. I would agree. When I've used Slack in the past in work environments, I think it's been very helpful. Canva, I have a paid membership to Canva. I really like Canva for creating graphics for my thumbnails for YouTube and creating graphics for putting within videos and for creating graphics to put on social media. Most of the time when I put Canva graphics on social media, they don't get as much engagement because I think photos where I'm showing you guys my face and Chewy's face and things like that are more real in the moment tend to be things that people care about more so rather than like a graphic that was pre-made ahead of time. But I do use Canva, and I think it is a good system, so I would definitely recommend it.
Whole stack of systems and technologies, which I use as long as my arm, but here are some of my favorite ones. If you have an online business, Zapier is amazing. Go look that up. If you have a remote team, Slack for internal communications.
I've never tried Zapier.
Amazing.
I'll try that. Zapier.
If you want to be taking application forms, Typeform is amazing. Scheduling posts, I'm seeing Nicole ask that. Planoly, I love Planoly.
Planoly is good for scheduling Instagram posts. I completely agree with that because it lets you do it on desktop. One of the reasons that I struggled with Instagram for a long time was that for years, I hated using my phone to do things because I don't like typing with my thumbs. I like to type on my keyboard, and I have a 2-monitor desktop setup that I do everything on, and that's how I live my life. That's my system. And then when Instagram is like, no, you have to post, and then I would try like Hootsuite, but then Hootsuite would still make you go in on the phone and post it in the moment, and half the time Hootsuite would disconnect. And then I tried Planoly, and that one worked pretty well. But for the most part, I don't do that because I just try to be a meme on Instagram because you guys find that funny. That's the E in entertaining for the 4 E's for ease of business.
Planoly for that. Canva for creating design templates. I love that too, okay? And the last one, all right? So write those ones down. The last one is growth. No matter what.
This is what I need to do because I already have a bunch of products and a bunch of business stuff set up. I've been doing this shit for years. I need to grow.
Where you're at in your business, all right? Maybe if you've not even started this is going to help you because this can be used all the way around the house. So this is a growth hack that all successful entrepreneurs use to spend less time earning more money, all right? The hack is
delegation is not a hack, but okay. Delegation. Okay, but in order to hire people, you need to have money to hire them. This is the thing where it gets a little sticky, right? Because we covered Tim Ferriss on Your Morning Guru. Tim Ferriss is the author of The 4-Hour Workweek, and he's the guy who is always talking about like how he delegates everything, and that's how he doesn't spend any extra time doing work than he absolutely has to. And in some cases, his advice for automating things is helpful, and his advice for how to help your boss cut meetings shorter and determine what's actually worth your time is valuable. But then he gets to the advice where he's like, well, if you want to hire someone to do something, you can look on these sites where there's people in these countries that are willing to work for less than minimum wage, and if they don't speak English well, you can just fire them. Like, he was just talking about being a terrible boss that, like, abused employees, basically, and underpaid them. And that's not what I want to do. So delegation either is going to be, in a lot of cases, too expensive or too exploitative. So I'm not really sure what to make of that. Again, that's why I was thinking, like, if I hired a video editor, could I get more videos out and make more ad revenue? Yes, but the more ad revenue would have to be worth how much I'm paying the editor, and the editor, I would also have to be paying them enough. I would say probably a minimum of $30 an hour, and it depends how many hours it takes them to edit and how much complex editing it's going to be. But, like, if I end up paying, you know, $90 a video, I don't always make that back in ad revenue. Some videos get low reviews, so it might not be worth it. But I don't want to underpay someone, so it's probably just not in my best interest to do that. So sometimes you do just have to keep doing things yourself.
Delegation, you guys. Deciding what not to do is important as deciding what to do. Write that down. Deciding what not to do is as important as deciding what to do. All right? If you are saying yes to something over here, I need you to realize you are saying no to something over here. Really, really important. So I want you to draw this out.
So yeah, this is just opportunity cost is what you're describing here. But so, okay, let's talk about, maybe there are some things I can outsource that I can afford to. Good at and like, not good at but like, good at and don't like, don't like and not good at. I think this is a fairly good chart, but you're neglecting how much it's going to cost to outsource something. And outsourcing something, you need to make sure you're paying your employees fairly. That's a big deal. Okay, but let's take a look.
Okay,
let me make this chart.
Again, this will be in the handout at the end. But I really want you to consider what you can outsource. And if you have a business, great. You can be adding on what you're outsourcing within the business. But even if you're at home, can you be outsourcing cleaning? Can you be outsourcing gardening?
Outsourcing gardening? I'm sorry, how rich do you think I am that I can afford a gardener? A gardener, my dude? That's like mansion people have gardeners. Okay, wait. Good at and like, not good at, but like, good at, don't like. And then the last one is bad at and hate. Okay, so things I'm bad at and hate. Cooking. I'm terrible at that and I hate it. I hate cleaning anything and I'm terrible at it. I hate just like all the things that are involved, like just all domestic labor. I'm just terrible at. And I hate it. So honestly, at some point I would like to hire a house cleaner, but like that's not a business decision. That is a life decision that you take into account once you know how much income you have. Things I'm good at and like writing, making videos. Okay, so here's an example of something I did outsource, was hand making stuffed animals, because that got to be too labor intensive. My mom and I used to do that together. It was way too labor intensive, so we outsourced that. So I'll write a note about that, about how I got to that point. Outsourced making stuffed animals. So we now have a manufacturer that produces them, but of course that costs a lot of money because you got to get them in high quantities, right? But I just pay for it, because that's a business expense. Good at and love. When it comes to like illustrating books, I generally outsource that. I've illustrated a few of them myself. So what are things I'm not good at but like doing? That's a good question. What are things I'm not good at but like doing? Business related. I don't know, this is difficult, but I think this is a good thought exercise. I do agree that this is a good exercise. But what it comes down to is going to be the budgeting part's going to be the toughest of this.
What can you be outsourcing that gives you more time back to invest in your business, all right?
And what I like people to do is to go around this, say, what am I good at and what do I like doing? And you drop that in the left corner. What am I good at but I don't like doing?
Oh wait, she's going to just go over where each thing is on the chart. This is going to take forever.
In the bottom left.
But what am I not good at but I like doing? And that is okay. If there's things that you actually like doing but you're not quite good at, but you want to invest more time at getting better at that, that is all right, okay? And don't like and not good at, you pop in that bottom right corner, all right? Okay. And so I
need to outsource my cooking. I need to like hire a chef. No, I just get takeout a lot.
The aim is that you start outsourcing things that need to be going in that bottom right corner first, all right? Lauren, what if you don't have the money?
Great question, Lauren. That's exactly what I was wondering.
You don't have to be outsourcing to paying people. Girl, you got to think outside that box.
Wait, I'm sorry, did you just say you don't have to pay people? I'm gonna wait and see what you mean by that, because I completely agree that you can trade things. I even talked about this in my book. Sometimes you can trade services with someone else if they need a service that you also need. If you both need each other's service, you can trade services. But if they don't need your service, it might be hard to trade for that service, because finding someone who needs what you can offer and who has what you need can be difficult. That's why we often have currency instead of a fully barter economy. But as I talked about in my book, I think bartering can be helpful if you can find the right relationship for that.
All right? Maybe you have a partner, maybe you have a family that you can get them to do more chores.
Excuse me, you can get, what? If a man were saying that, like, just get your wife to clean the house, which, like, to be fair, men do that a lot. A lot of cases of really successful men, their wife did most of the child raising, their wife did most of the domestic labor and things like that, and because of that, they were able to get successful. So I guess it's not wrong to say, push it back the other way, but it's also not fair to treat someone else the way that shitty men treat you. You don't want to do that either. You gotta have an equal partnership. If I ask Tyler to do all the chores, that's not fair. He already does more of the chores than I do, just because he's motivated by having a clean house and I'm only motivated by attention, as I've said. So I don't give a shit if the house is clean or not, so I forget to do it because I don't feel any reward from it being done. All I feel is like frustrated that I had to clean it. He does a lot more of the domestic labor than I do, just like naturally, because he like thinks about it and I don't, and that's probably makes me a shitty wife, but I'm working on it. So no, I cannot ask him to do more things because I'm already toxically masculine for a woman. I can't get worse at it, you guys. I can't, or else I'll get my ass big canceled.
And to support you more. Also, maybe there's a ton of stuff and don't like and not good at that you're realizing, I actually don't need to do this. I'm stressing and this is taking my time.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll just say I don't need to clean. I'll just let my house be gross because, like, honestly, it doesn't bother me.
And I don't need to do this, all right?
But I have to eat. You can't just not eat. You'll die. I hate going to the grocery store. I hate cooking. I hate all of that. I hate every single step of the process. I could get takeout for everything, but you have to pay for that. And you just said it doesn't have to involve money. I can't just, like, ask my partner to, like, transmit their calories to me through osmosis, right?
And Sophie's right. Everything I'm giving you now, there are things that don't necessarily take investment at this point. All right. So every single one of you is able to take.
Doesn't take investment, but she's about to pitch us this society that we can join.
Like I started sharing with you, your 6-step proven blueprint is here. Mindset is underlying.
Okay, so it looks like the first 4 steps is where I'm going to focus. So the last 2, although the 10K a month is going to require growth from me because I've done all these things. I've done all 4 of those and I don't make 10K a month. So I guess I have to make 10K a month with the first 4, but without growing, but I have to grow to make 10K a month. Okay, I'm really lost. Continue though.
Everything. If you want to start a business, you have to have this roadmap in place. You have to be working through this roadmap, and you don't want to be moving to the next one until you've mastered the first one. So if you've yet to understand what your purpose is.
Okay, so I think maybe I'm at audience and revenue right now. Maybe those are the steps that I'm at. So I'm working on my social media. My channel is doing pretty well, but I need to grow my channel a little bit. I need to focus more on those ideal clients, and also the revenue stage. I broke down how I'm going to make the 10K in 30 days. I've got to focus on that. So I'm going to focus on those 2 steps for the next month. We'll revisit in a month and I'll tell you guys if I made 10K or not.
Focus on that purpose, get really clear and aligned in that before moving on to audience. So mindset, purpose, audience, and revenue is where you focus if you are not yet getting consistent 10K months, all right? And where you focus your time and energy once you're trying to become 10K months and trying to grow that, you focus in systems and growth because that's where you get to scale, all right? Does that feel good? I love that. Kador saying, I don't like numbers and I'm not good at accounting. Outsource that. I promise you accountants will.
That's true. I have an accountant. Getting an accountant is a fantastic expense because when you are running your own business, it can be really hard to figure out tax stuff. Taxes are very complex, and I'd rather have an accountant do it.
Save you so much time and money. It's definitely worth doing.
Plus, it's usually worth it financially too, because you'll probably get a bigger tax return.
Okay? I just want us to do a quick visualization, all right?
All right, we're gonna
This
visualize.
is really, really important because I just want to, we've spoke about what you're motivated by.
All right, so are we about to meditate? I'm going to say tentatively that 56 minutes is where the good content in this ended. You know what? I'll say we got about a half hour of actual business advice in this. Not all of it. Like, a lot of it was very basic and not helpful, but some of it did help me at least generate a few ideas, so I won't completely discount that. And this was a free training, although I did have to give them my email address, so this was also like a lead magnet. They have my email address to advertise to me on their email list now. But that is a valid marketing strategy, absolutely. And I like, guys, sign up for my email list. Here, I'm doing the ask, I'm doing the close. Link in description below is where my email list is. Go ahead and sign up for that. And then I'll write newsletters and pitch novels to you guys to try to sell 200 this month.
Actually, I'm going to leave my camera on, but I want you just to close your eyes and get really, really comfortable with where you're sat right now. And I just want to take a few moments to embody the energy of what you said you were motivated by. Remember that push or pull energy? Like, what were you motivated by? And I just want you to feel it. Feel it inside you and just...
I feel you guys watching this video right now.
Take a breath in.
It feels good.
And all the way out. I want you to just embody that energy as if it's already happened.
You guys are watching this video and it feels so
take a deep breath
good.
In, all the way out. And I want you to imagine a day in the future. You open your eyes and you're looking around your bedroom.
Okay.
What does it look like?
Well, we're redoing the bedroom, so it's probably going to be painted a different color.
What do you feel? So you're waking up in the morning.
I feel
in this vision,
tired.
Achieving that dream that you want. And I want you to see yourself picking up your phone, which is on your bedside table, all right? So pick up that.
Okay, this is an interesting visualization. I feel like tired was the wrong answer, but no matter how great I'm doing in business, I'm always feeling tired when I wake up. That's just how waking up feels.
Phone.
Okay.
It's on that bedside table.
Pick up my phone.
And I want you to imagine there's a bunch of notifications from your bank account. And
there's a bunch of notifications from my... Oh, it's like those emails that's like, direct deposit greater than X number sent to this. Someone sent you money on PayPal. Okay, whatever.
Both saying that you've made money in your sleep.
Okay, I hate the phrase make money in your sleep. You didn't really make money in your sleep. You made money by creating something while you were awake, and then just because someone purchased it while you were asleep, you didn't make money in your sleep. You made money while you were awake. There was just some time for the thing to fully process. That's like saying that, like, if you ran a general store and somebody bought things and you decided to go... you're the owner of the store and you went to go take a nap in the back room and someone else worked the cash register. Did you make money in your sleep? Like... No, the products and all the management, you did the work while you were awake. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the secret to all success. Are you ready? This is the true secret to success. If you do things for the meme and you always follow things that would be funny, you'll do a lot of things. That's the answer. If there's something that you're like, this would be a funny story if I did this thing, and then you do that thing, it's not always going to turn out profitable. It's not always going to turn out emotionally satisfying. It may sometimes cause a lot of difficulties, but you'll do a lot of things. You'll create a lot of things. So it all depends what your priorities are. If you do it for the meme, you'll do a lot. That's the truth.
I had this goal and I achieved it. I'm so proud of myself. I just want you to imagine.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know what it is about her, but she's actually, like, at first I was so annoyed with her, but she's kind of motivating me a little bit right now. Like, a little bit. Like, I'm feeling a little bit of motivation. Like, why am I pee hard? I'm just kidding. That was a meme. You gotta do everything for the meme.
A deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And come back to the room. I want you to feel grounded and
first. I'm gonna spit coffee everywhere.
And let me know in the chat, how do you feel? And how often do you visualize this?
I don't visualize very frequently, and actually, no, that's not true. I do visualize, and then I do get excited about things, but if I get too caught up in visualizing, I'll get distracted and not do my work. So it's like, I need to do more. You know what I need to do is some guided meditation. I am not good at meditation, and everyone keeps recommending it to me, and maybe that's what I need to do, is just a little bit of that. is a little bit of that. Maybe we'll try something on your morning guru with that, because I need to do a little bit of meditation. I don't feel like you really gave me a clear way to make $10,000, which I knew you couldn't because you don't know the specifics of my business, and you really can't, you know, give people specific advice if you don't know the specifics. But I'm still gonna try.
Because you are worthy of it, and you know you are worthy of it. That's what's amazing.
I mean, I knew I was worthy of it before I started this training, though.
You know you are worthy of this.
Yeah.
So how do I actually do this? That's what.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? Okay, so she had, how do I actually do this? And I was like, girl, we are an hour into this training, and you are going to be like, so how do I actually do this? Like, you couldn't have told me that any other point in the training. And then she's going to be like, so how do I actually do this? Just kidding, bitches. You have to pay me. You have to pay me if you want to actually do this. You have to pay me to get more advice that's not tailored one-on-one for you. Girl, no.
I want to be sharing with you. I told you at the beginning.
Wait, hold up. It says right here on this slide that the society, which I know is just pronounced the society, but I'm going to call it the society because she spelled it like that to be quirky. So she called it the society, and she said on here that see this point right here? See this little arrow? It says one of the things that it'll help you do is make that first 10K. You told me that this training I just spent the past hour taking was going to make me my first 10K in 30 days. You told me that. Now you're telling me I actually have to pay for this to make my first 10K? This is a scam, dude. This is a scam. You told me that this training, that if I invested my past hour in this training, I was going to get to make my first 10K in 30 days. And scale to 6 figures. If you make 10K every 30 days, that's already 6 figures, but that's revenue, not profit. So again, you need to draw what clear distinctions you're talking about here, dude.
It is my mission to make sure every single one of you has the power to finally start that business, make that first 10K, make that second 10K, and turn that into a 6-figure business. And that's why
you told me this training would make the first 10K.
Natalie and I at BOSSBABE created the society, the
society. We live in a society
where female entrepreneurs can go, where they have that roadmap, they have those courses, they have those templates. It's like
all right, so hard selling, I'm doing the first tick mark for this because we've still got a lot of this training to go, and she's hard selling like really hard. She got like 10 tick marks for this.
Netflix for personal and professional development as a female entrepreneur. And I want to tell you about how you can join us today. Is a very important.
I can join you today by paying you. That's how you join.
Annual member and move you closer, help.
So am I getting any more real training in this? Because based on this timestamp here, I've still got like a whole hour left to go in this training. So do I get any more real training, or are you just going to make me... You said I have to hold... Oh my god, this is what she did. She said you got to hold out to the end to get all the downloads and find out how to get all the workbooks and stuff like that. Is she going to spend the next hour pitching this to me, doing an infomercial? I wish I was high right now, dude. Infomercials are funnier when you're high.
You achieve that dream that you just so beautifully visualized, all right? And I want to make this easy for you. I know some of you are feeling maybe a little bit overwhelmed, like, oh my god, how can I do this? I can visualize it, but how am I actually doing this for you? I told you I don't gatekeep. I want to give you everything that's going to help you. So I'm giving you that.
You can't say, okay, so you're saying I don't gatekeep. I don't know what you mean by that. You don't gatekeep. Normally that means you would accept everyone and want everyone in. But you are basically saying that I'm not going to actually tell you how to really make $10,000 in 30 days until you pay me for the society. So that's literally the definition of gatekeeping.
Purpose template that we spoke about earlier.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. First of all, with the 7s. Everything ends in a 7. Maybe I should be keeping a tally mark of how many things end in a 7. So she's telling me that my purpose template pre-filled with 20 specific questions to answer so that after completing it, you're extremely clear on your purpose and your niche is worth $97. How do I know what? Based on what? That's worth $97 to whom? Things are worth what people will pay for them. So have you sold this to someone else at $97? If so, maybe say that, because I don't know what you mean by this is worth $97. I certainly wouldn't pay $97 for a 20 question questionnaire. I would not do that.
And I'm pre-filling it with 20 specific questions to answer so that after completing it, you're really clear on your purpose and your niche. That's worth $97, all right? I want to make sure that...
I thought you already described this to me. Are you you're saying there's a more advanced version of this to sell to me too?
That The client attraction system that you have, that we went through, that's clear. And I'm going to pre-fill that for you.
I'm sorry, that's worth $297 based on what? Based on what? When have you ever sold this specific worksheet with just more specifics on it for $300? When has anyone ever paid you that for it? It's worth that because... So I can just say anything I do. So, like, I could say right now, like, this YouTube video that you're watching is worth $297. It's worth that to you personally. Like, the value you're getting from this video is $297 worth. So that's why you have to join my Patreon for $5 a month, because it's basically, you're getting $297 worth right now. You don't have to join my Patreon at all. But thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are great. Check them out in the description below. But no, this is absolute a scam.
And make sure that you know where you can get ideal clients from, where they are, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what your business looks like. That's $297, all right? The sales equation.
Yep, there was a reason she didn't go into more detail when I said, wait, how about you give me a little more detail on this? It's because she's putting it behind the paywall and pretending it's worth a lot more than it is.
How to find your ideal clients, that offer, how to word that messaging, the trust, how to close.
Worth $497 based on what? The 5-step mini course on the sales equation, step by step through each phase so you're able to close clients and generate revenue with ease. With the 4 E's for ease, right? That slogan that I came up with for you, Natalie. You're not Natalie. You're Danielle. Your partner's Natalie. Danielle, that's worth $25,000. I'm sorry. Just for you, because we're friends now, because you're my mentor for doing this, and to you, that's what mentorship is, so that makes us friends. So since we have a personal relationship and are friends now, instead of $25,000, I'll sell it to you for just $24,997. I'll take $3 off just because we're friends, okay? So that's worth that. So if you want to use the 4 E's for ease, then I'll be waiting for the check.
All of those things. I'm actually giving you a whole mini course on that. So if you watch
like a mini golf course,
that section, you're like, oh my goodness, I need this, but I'm really confused. I got you, okay? 5-step mini course worth $490.
I can't hear mini course without thinking of a mini golf course.
$7, walking you through that every single step of the way. On top of that, I told you I got a text system as long as my arm. I couldn't even share them all with you today because
you couldn't even share them all with me today because you had to charge me for them.
Didn't have time.
Oh, yeah, we didn't have time. All that time you wasted telling me, you know, over and over again about yourself and your past and how you're not the smartest person in every room. All that time we wasted, but you just ran out of time to tell me about more systems than this. So you're going to charge me for the information of systems I would also have to pay to join. Girl, no.
I will give you the full...
It's worth $300 to have a list of websites that I have to pay to join? Girl, are you high?
Behind the scenes back end of BOSSBABE, so you can have all the tech systems.
The back end of BOSSBABE? You want to hit the back end of this, BOSSBABE?
We have and know how to implement them so that you no longer become that bottleneck and your business runs efficiently. So all of these, if you join us today, this is only available if you join us today.
If I didn't join today, so this isn't available to me anymore, but she claims that these bonuses, which I would say she could probably make into a workbook that would be about, I don't know, $10 to $15. I'd say they're worth about $10 to $15 if she made a little workbook to sell us with these things in them. She says they're worth $1,188. Based on what? No one has ever paid $1,188 for these things. This sounds like you can make a little $10 book with this, and that would probably be worth it.
On this training, you are going to get all of that valued at $1,188.
Valued?
You're going to get it free
by whom?
When you join up as an annual member, all right?
As well as that, I went through with you that tried and tested framework, that proven blueprint in here today, that 6-step roadmap that we've used to help us make over 20 million, and we've taught it to thousands of students who have gone on to make their own 5, 6, and 7-figure businesses. We've learned it, we've perfected it, we've asked amazing entrepreneurs who have built billion-dollar businesses. I'm giving that in there for you. There is a whole blueprint that talks you through every single section to help you save time, money, and energy. And I want to give you a sneak peek inside so you can see how amazing and legit this is. This is what a society looks like. Videos. And by the way, these are not overwhelming videos, all right? These are digestible, actionable pieces.
They're not overwhelming, they're digestible. By that, she means they're short. They're short, and we didn't make them that long.
All right? So, if you are yet to start your business, right? Maybe before this training, you've been feeling confused. and overwhelmed about what business you should start, and you've thought and
I mean, no, I have a business already. I'm trying to grow it and make $10,000 a month, which is exactly what you told me I'd be able to do after this training.
I've kind of tried it and I'm kind of giving up. Like, I don't really know what to do. I've got you inside the society.
Oh, inside the society. Are we just not doing any more training? Is this just an infomercial for the rest of this?
These blueprints are videos on the 5 steps to choosing the right business for you. All right, so if you know the business is right for you, how you can find your competitive edge so that you know that you can stand out, how you can create lasting change with these 3 stages, all right? I've got you. So if you're struggling to start, you're not sure where to start, there are videos and there are templates in there. Maybe you've been struggling to make your first 10K.
That's what you told me this training was going to teach me. What reason do I have to believe you that if I paid for the societe that would teach me how to make my first $10,000? Because you promised me I'd learn how to make my first $10,000 in 30 days with this training that I'm taking right now. That's what you told me. That was what it says on the tin. Remember, you're the one who brought up what it says on the tin. That was what this training said on the tin. And yet, now you're telling me that if I want to actually learn that, then I have to join the societe. So what's to make me trust you that once I join the societe, maybe in there you might have something where it's like, oh, well, this is going to help you get started, but you have to actually join the more expensive course to really know how to make $10,000 in 30 days. What makes me believe that there's not going to be another upsell? Why would I give you money when you didn't give me, you're basically telling me that I need to pay more to get what you told me you were going to give me for free. You're not inspiring a lot of trust. Remember, you want me to be a hot contact, right? I know I'm hot, but I'm not hot for you, Danielle. And that's because you said in order to go from the cold to hot pipeline that I have to have trust. You've broken my trust in you. And so now I have no reason to believe that I'm hot for you.
What to do to generate revenue today? Like, what are the key things that you do? What's the low-hanging fruit? 4 steps to a successful launch, like launching that business, launching that new product. And we're giving you sales call scripts. I know how powerful and important these are. And what
Okay, but again, a sales call script for what? What type of business you run is going to depend. How can you give me a sales call script when you don't know what industry I'm working in? A sales call script is going to vary wildly based on the industry. And if I want to run an online shop that people just buy things from, I'm sorry, who am I making sales calls to? Should I just be calling random numbers to every single person being like, hey, did you know that this website exists? You should buy something from it. Girl.
we want to set you up for success. So on top of these bonuses that you're going to get with the webinar, all of those templates, on top of having this blueprint, which answers all of those questions and way, way more, helps you go from startup to 6 figures, you're also going to get a monthly masterclass. Remember what I said to you earlier? I was like, how can I learn from the best people? I don't want to be taking advice from people who are not where I want to be. We have put together the best entrepreneurs in the world.
Based on what?
You not only get mini courses with these guys, but you also get to have a Q&A with them, right? We do a live Q&A call. So everyone who joins after this, you know, when you listen to my podcast or you listen to a podcast sometimes and you're like, oh, wow, like, Danielle, I wouldn't have asked this question. I would have totally asked this one. You get to ask the questions. It's not.
So it's a live call where you get to ask questions, but it's like a group getting to ask questions and they'll answer the ones that they have time for. So it's no guarantee that you'll get specific advice for your specific business, which is what I would be wanting to pay for.
Me asking the questions, you guys come on and ask the questions to these women yourselves, all right?
She's acting like this is such a novel concept. Like, you ask the questions yourselves. Can you believe that? Like, that's what a Q&A is, dude. It's not that hard.
Like, there's no one else doing this. And these masterclasses, like, there's more. There's
no one else doing this? I mean, there's literally a company called Masterclass where you pay a monthly fee and get access to tons of masterclasses. I'm not recommending it, or I'm not criticizing it either. I've never used it, so I have no idea whether it's good or not. But my point is, this is not a new concept.
Confidence, there's high ticket offers, there's YouTube, there's how growing your influence, there's how...
Okay, where are these values coming from? I'm serious. How to make 7 figures selling an online course. Wait, I'm sorry. You're selling me an online course about how to sell an online course? That is a pyramid scheme. I'm sorry. And I'm saying pyramid scheme colloquially as a disclaimer. I'm not legally accusing it of being a pyramid scheme. I'm saying it is a pyramid-shaped venture. If I'm going to sell you a course on how to sell courses to other people and then the course you make on how to sell courses to other people, okay, who's ever selling anything that the world needs? We're just going to sell courses on how to sell more courses? Does anyone get any profit products, who's making real things in this world. I would not pay $497 for that. How to live, lead, and sell with confidence, value $997. Based on what? Oh my god. She says that how to build highly converting sales pages is worth $2,241. That is a very exact amount of money. $2,241. She didn't even end it in a 7. And she didn't end it in like a round number, like a 0 or a 5. So where is she getting that from? Where's the extra dollar? Like, how did she calculate this?
How to make your sales page better. How to build that podcast. They're worth over $15,891.
These are not worth $15,891. This sounds like something that you could make one, fairly substantial business book out of and sell me for $20 to $25. I would pay you know what? I would, if you wrote this into a book, Danielle, and you said, this book, hardcover version, let's say the hardcover is even worth $30. Let's say it's $29.97. I would pay you that for a book with this information because I do think you're smart. I think you're a smart businesswoman. You obviously have had a lot of success in making money in business, although some of that success is a little pyramid shaped when we look at how it's like, oh, I'm going to sell you a course on how to sell you a course. And that's where the real money is in teaching people how to start a business rather than in actually starting a business yourself, right? Shovels in the gold rush, right? But I still think that you are probably very financially literate. So I would buy that book and try to learn from you. I would not pay, nobody in their right mind would pay $15,891 for this. So no, it is not worth that.
And we include all of those in your access to the society, you guys, right?
Does anyone believe this? Does anyone believe that these things are really worth this much and that she's just out of the goodness of her heart not charging us this much? If they were really worth this much, someone would be willing to pay that much for them, right? So that means that like she would be selling them this much. Does anyone really think that a smart businesswoman would not be selling things for how much she could actually sell them for, aka how much they're worth? I'm lost.
You literally get that instantly. And on top of that, you get a call every single week. So I've already mentioned.
Oh my God, look at this. The calls are worth $11,964 a year. How did you price that? You didn't, why'd you choose that number instead of $11,963? Someone might ask me now, Savvy, how did you choose how to price the book Cancel Sean Boston when you sold it? And the answer to that is the ebook is $420 because $420 blaze it. And the paperback version is $14.69 because I 69'd your mom last night. And I do everything for the meme because when you do things for the meme, you do a lot of things. So at least I can break it down for you.
The calls, the Q&A with the guest expert, that happens once a month, making those unreachable women reachable for you guys within the society. But you're also getting goal setting sessions every single month with me. You come on, ask me your questions that you're struggling with in your business. I will answer it for you.
I mean, that's kind of how asking someone questions works. She's acting like this is so surprising. Like, you ask me your questions and I will answer them for you. Like, girl, that's what asking a question is. She's like acting so hard like she's selling us something. She's selling us nothing. Again, maybe this would be worth something. Maybe this would be worth something in the 4 figures mark. In the over hundreds figure, in the thousands. Maybe. If this were you and me having regular one-on-one meetings every week. We meet every week for an hour, maybe for a year. And during those meetings, we go over specific goals for my business, give me based on my company, my target audience, my location, my product. Based on those things, you give me specific advice and specific actionable plans tailored to exactly what I'm doing that you wouldn't replicate for every single other boss babe out there. Maybe that would be worth some substantial money. But there is no way that this is even worth anything past $100, let alone almost $12,000. Absolutely not.
I will help you. These calls, we put are worth $11,964, but
based on what?
I think are way, way more.
They're way. Okay, so you said that you think they're way, way more. So what made you write that they were worth $11,000 then, if they're actually worth more in your opinion? Why did you write the lower number? Is it only so you could say it was a higher number? You're just making things up right now. You're acting like an NFT bro. You said you were tired of the bro advice. Then stop acting like you're about to sell me an ape NFT, dude.
Because I don't even do one-to-one coaching anymore. This is the only places that I coach is within inside our community.
Wait, so you don't do one-to-one coaching anymore, so you're saying this is worth a lot, But this isn't one-to-one coaching either, so why is the... What?
And you'll also get a Facebook community where you get to meet women like you
Join my Facebook community. It's free, and you also get to meet women like you.
doing similar things to what you're doing. It's been a game changer for people like Christina, generating $6,500 in revenue after joining.
You said 10,000. You said I was gonna make my first $10,000 from this training. Then you told me I actually need the société to make $10,000. Now you're telling me that one of the success stories made $6,500, which is less than $10,000. And that's in revenue, not in profit. So she maybe even lost money depending on what her startup expenses were. Girl, you are not being transparent with this. This is the shadiest fucking training.
It's been a game changer for Tanya. She's finally making profit. She was in the negative, but turned it around.
Okay, but I don't have any reason to believe that Christina's not in the negative, because you said revenue on hers and you're saying profit on Tanya's. So we know that Tanya's actually making profit because you said the word profit. But what makes me believe, what's there to convince me that Christina isn't also still in the negative when she's just making $6,500 in revenue and not in profit? You're not being specific and you're not being transparent with me, Danielle. This is why I don't trust you. And when you don't trust me, you can't turn me into a hot contact, okay? Although my skin's pretty hot right now. Dude, look at that sunburn. Some gay-ass sunburn from the Pride Parade.
After being in the society.
Okay, so how many hard sells are we at this point? Like 12? Like a million? Like 69? I don't know, 420? Anyway, so she's about to give us the total value, which my screen recording of it cut off. But she's breaking it down here. I don't need to reiterate that there's no way to know that these things are actually worth this much, and she just pulled those numbers out of her ass. But tell me what the société is actually worth, Danielle. Tell me.
All of this is available. I'm gonna put a little we're gonna put this up for you now. All of this is available if you join as an annual member today. The value is worth over $30,000.
It's worth over $30,000. No, it is not. No, it is not. Okay, I told my business partner that Danielle said that this course was worth over $30,000, and his response was, "Does it come with land? Does it come with land, Danielle? Because if so, maybe it is worth $30,000."
More, okay? Because you're getting access to the blueprint, you're getting access to the masterclasses, you're getting benefits, all right? Benefits that you can utilize to get discounts. There's a new masterclass delivered.
I'm sorry, discounts? You're telling me that I have to pay for more things? Because discounts implies that I'm going to pay for more things. Because what would I be getting discounts on otherwise? So you just did a subtle thing there telling me you were about to upsell me, even once I pay for the société.
Every single month, there's invitation for our community, the coaching calls, and all the templates that I've mentioned. So $30,000 worth, you can get it today, all right?
It's not worth $30,000. She made that up. If I had $30,000, maybe I'd own a car. I don't own a car. I probably wouldn't own a car. It's expensive to park in the city. What would I do with an extra $30,000? Well, I'm already planning to take my mom on a trip to London, so we could probably fly business class. We'd probably fly first class to London. That'd be pretty cool. We could do a bunch of cool things. I mean, we're already going to do a bunch of cool things while we're there. So that's something I'm saving up for. Anyway, I wouldn't spend it on this.
But on top of that, your annual membership also comes with access to another 30 secret success kits, okay?
What does that mean?
So just want to say you can get all of this that I just mentioned here. And I've put the offer up in the chat for you now for just over $400 a.
Okay. So she wants me to believe that she really thought this was a $30,000 value membership. And I'm getting it for $400 because I'm just so lucky to be here on this call right now. First of all, that's false because I was examining the website the other week. I did a video on this, and the price to join was $43 a month, I think, and then it was less if you paid for the year at once. So $400 would be a lower price than that you would pay when you bought the whole year at once. So I think it's just always $400 a year. I think she's just trying to scam us.
Yeah. All right? That is insane. Getting access. Isn't that epic?
No, it's not epic. It's actually very disappointing.
I am so proud of this. It's the most, I honestly don't know anything out like this on the market. And I want you...
There are so many courses and paid communities on the market. There are a fuckload of them. There's nothing else like this. Yes, there is. And you know what? As a business owner, Danielle, you should know who your competitors are. You should know what else on the market is similar to you and how you're similar and how you're different. To say there's nothing else like this on the market shows that you're being intentionally ignorant surrounding your business rather than setting yourself apart from your competitors. I think that that's a little shady too.
To know that we put everything behind this. We
Either that or you did no market research. But I don't believe that. I think that this is malicious, not stupidity.
do not gatekeep. We give you everything that we feel like
We don't gatekeep, but it is behind a paywall. It's literally gatekeeping.
we had needed because we've been where you...
By the way, I'm not saying she shouldn't put her training behind a paywall, because I think people should be able to sell their knowledge on certain things and should be able to get paid for their work, 100%. But I'm saying it is a form of gatekeeping. It's not necessarily negative gatekeeping. And she's definitely overpricing it, and she's overinflating the value to make it seem like we're getting a discount. And she should just write all of this into a very densely information-packed workbook that I can buy for less than $20, and then I wouldn't think she was scamming us.
Your ads. And on top of that, I'm going to give you even more. Access to another 30 secret success kits if you join us annual today. All right, so you've already got $30,000 in value. I'm going to be giving you even more. So 30 secret success kits, which are in there. You're going to gain access to them. There's things in...
Okay, wait, so these 30 success kits are also worth over $22,357? So why did you, if it's worth more than that, why did you say such a specific number? Are you just like typing random shit on the keyboard and seeing what sticks? Because that's such a specific number for it not to be like, it's worth exactly this. It's worth over this. It could be $22,358. It could be $22,359.75. Like, I don't know. It's over that though.
Like legal and finances and lead generation and sales page optimization and hiring and money mindset. They're worth $22,357 in there. Gonna give you a legal consultation. So
a 1-hour legal consult. I really hope that it's with a lawyer and not with you, who's not a lawyer.
Personally felt it was very overwhelming knowing whether I should set up an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, all of these things. We're giving you a free consultation with a company that we utilize to set you...
Oh, okay, so it is with a lawyer. Okay, well, that's a decent perk.
Well, and they will set your business up at no cost to you.
That's actually a good benefit. That's a good benefit. I like that one. See, I see how she figured that one out. That one's clear, because that's probably the lawyer's hourly consultation fee. So that's how you know, okay? The rest of them, I can't make heads or tails of it.
You can get tax and set your business up in the right way.
The rest of the training is really just going to be her going through every single thing that's included in the societe. I thought I was getting more training. Are we never getting back to the training? Are we just done with the training? I mean, I guess I should assume we're done with the training because she told me that I'm going to make $10,000 in 30 days, and then she basically told me that I have to join the societe to learn to do that, and then I found out that people in the societe don't even make $10,000 a month, so yeah, I think she just scammed me.
I told you, we give you so much information because I am determined to see more women making more money, all right? We're giving you revenue on repeat. I know for a lot of you, getting revenue continuously in your business, passive income, waking up, hearing those sales, hit your inbox, hit your bank account, that's what you want. Making money whilst you sleep. I know that, and so we created a specific course for you. It's an entire...
Of course it's worth $997. The courses are always worth $997. What else would they be worth?
Entire course showing you how we built our membership program.
Wait, so you've got a $997 course on how I can build a membership program like yours, and then that membership program can sell $997 courses. Oh my god, oh my god. Who's the end customer?
How you can unlock something like this too, all right? So this is worth $999.
Wait, why would you want other people to make a group like the Societe? Why would you want people to make their own membership program? You just said there's nothing like this on the market. You just said there's nothing like this on the market. Why would you want someone else to make something like it on the market if you truly believe that you're unique? You want your own customers to make something that's going to compete with you, but you still want to be the best thing on the market, so you don't actually want them to succeed? I'm confused. Danielle, I'm going to need you to give me some clarification on that. But she doesn't do one-on-one coaching anymore, so she'll never answer that question for me. Oh, nope, she's talking about the monthly membership version. Okay, well, now we're at that. Okay, let's skip ahead again.
Society community, right?
Now she's just giving more testimonies. Let's skip ahead again.
Sometimes we're like, oh, I'm not ready to make a decision. Not ready to make a decision to commit.
Is this about committing to starting your business or committing to pay her to join the society?
But I want to tell you that if you're not ready to make a decision, you are making a decision. If you're choosing yes to something, you're choosing no to something else.
Yeah, I'm choosing not to pay for the society. That is a decision. I'm choosing not to because I don't fucking trust you.
You're saying no to something here, you're choosing yes to something here. So just make sure you're very aware of that and you are conscious about the choices that you are making. Know that you have the ability to take control.
Oh my god, Chewy just farted. Where's Chewy? There you are. There's your silly little butt that just farted while I'm watching the Boss Babe training.
So we're going to do the Q&A.
All right, it's finally time for the Q&A. She hard sold me for forever. So so far this training has been an hour and a half long. I got 30 minutes of training out of it and an hour of hard selling, and now we have a Q&A. Okay, let's see what happens.
What if I'm already in another program with Boss Babe like Influencer School? If you are in Influencer School, which is that deep dive into growing and monetizing social media, the society is completely different. The society
So basically you're saying we have to pay extra.
Is how you build that whole entire house, how you build that whole business. And it's a community. What's one really big thing about the Boss Babe community and the society is we nurture every single one of you within there. Like, you get to ask questions, you get to interact with each other. There is that support system and this bundle of masterclasses, like I said to you, that cover a variety of things, not just about audience growth. It covers everything in there. So even if you have Influencer School, I would 100% recommend that society is the perfect pairing with it. Okay, another question that I'm seeing come in, and we're going to go into more of your questions as well.
This is a good question. You said there was nothing like it on the market. How is it different?
How is this different from other online communities? Other online communities do not offer you the access to the women that we offer you to.
Access to the women? Access to the women? Binders full of women? Are you offering me binders full of women?
Where you get to ask their questions, and the types of women who are creating these courses, they do not offer you four trainings or Q&As and coaching programs every single month.
Are you sure? Like, are you sure that you offer more things than someone else? Do you have a direct comparison to a competitor to do? And also, how do you know that other places don't have master classes too? I think they probably do.
Not for this price.
Okay, if you say so.
Like, nowhere else. I will confidently say nowhere else. I've done that market research. This is the best product in the market for what you are getting. They will not give you these templates. They will not give you the access to the women. They will. You
can get free templates on Canva. Can you stop saying access to the women? You're getting access to these women. You're getting binders full of women.
Not give you this amount of masterclasses, instant access straight away, particularly when you're joining annuals. Okay, lots of other people will make you buy several things from them to get that house. We give it all to you packaged nicely in a way that's not overwhelming, in a way that you can work through it to get to where you need to go. All right, I want to see more of you earning more money. That is my goal. It's why we don't gatekeep. That's why we.
Why do you keep saying you don't gatekeep? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by we don't gatekeep? I don't mind you charging money for information, but I just don't understand what you mean by we don't gatekeep. What does gatekeeping mean to you? I'm very confused.
Give you that roadmap so that you work through it. Can we pay the annual fee in installments? No, you can't. Annual fee is a one-off payment, but the monthly you can pay at any time, all right? So you can head to bossbabe.com/membership if you want to just get the monthly. I know the annual offer.
Are people in the chat really asking this many questions about the society, and they're not asking any more like critical questions, or is she just ignoring all the critical questions? I don't know.
Is up right now? How old do you have to be? You can be any age, okay?
Any age. Someone said how old you have to be. I would assume at least 18, right?
We do not discriminate on age.
18, right? Right? I feel like that Anakin in bed made me. You have to be at least 18, right?
We have people who are young. We have people who are older.
Define young.
Offering a lot of experience. All you have to be is have the right mindset and the right approach to wanting to make a
But you have to have the right mindset and be 18, right?
difference in your life. That's what actually helps you succeed, all right? There's no...
I'm guessing that this is probably like, if this person is real, I'm guessing that this is like a teenager in the chat who's like 16 and is wondering, do I have to be 18 because I'm a teenager interested in entrepreneurship? Danielle, you better not be taking advantage of kids. I need you to confirm and say, wait, sorry, I mean you do have to be 18. I'm waiting for you to do that, please. Please, for me.
Age limit either side.
No age limit either side. So like a 12-year-old could sign up for this and you would take their money. And girl, you can't do that.
I want you to feel like I am empowered to make this decision to grow this business. Like I can do this.
I mean, I felt more empowered when the thing that here's what made me feel empowered about this training. Okay, what made me feel empowered was the thing where I came up with my avatar, my ideal client, which she did not even walk me through an exercise for. She just mentioned offhandedly that she does that. And I said, hold on, let's stop and actually do this because this sounds like a good exercise. That one was empowering. And brainstorming about social media systems I can use and trying to put together a plan for that was empowering. That and breaking down different ways I can make 10K in 30 days was empowering. Her whole sales pitch was disempowering and made me angry and feel taken advantage of. So I'm gonna leave you with that bad pause face right there, Danielle, and we're gonna wrap up today's video, okay? So what did you guys think of the Boss Babe webinar? Do you think there was any real value in that? Did you think that, like, it was obvious she was just gonna make most of it a sales pitch? I kind of suspected that going in, but I always hold out hope that maybe someone won't disappoint me. I am gonna continue to try, guys, and in a month, I will put out a video on Wednesday, July 27th. If I forget to do it, someone just message me until I remember to do it. But I will let you guys know in an update on social media or community tab or something whether or not I actually did make $10,000 in 30 days. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it with the way that I broke it down and see if it helped. And if it helped, I'll say thank you, Miss Danielle, for that. You're still a scammer because I can't trust you because of the way you try to upsell me constantly. I'm not a fan of the consistent upselling. You're the British one. You said what it says on the tin. You give me what it says on the tin, and then you can upsell me a separate tin if you want, but at least give me what's on this tin that I already bought, okay? Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. On Friday, we are going to do a similar type of video to this, but we are going to be reviewing Jenna Kutcher's Instagram course that I've been taking to try to grow my Instagram and be a better boss babe with my imaginary 3-year-old daughter, Braylon Emily. You guys are going to meet her. She's great. She's an American Girl doll. Anyway, thank you so much again to my sponsor. If you guys are interested in any of these small business supporting and LGBTQ pride pins and keychains, please go ahead to the link in my description below, and don't forget to use SAVY10 at checkout to get 10% off. I will see you guys on Friday. In the meantime, keep on supporting small businesses and keep being the beautiful boss babes that you are. Bye!
Hit you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago. You guys asked for it.